Her eyes snapped open, and there he was, Beizheng, he who had clearly run her through with his own blade. How could she still be facing Yan Beizheng? Had he pursued her even into the depths of hell?
Lan, very good. You still remember this king's name, do you? As this king's woman, you dare to scheme an elopement with another man. Such audacity.
Reborn into this life, she found herself 8 years in the past. The year before Yan Beizheng had confined her to the regent's mansion. In that instant, the guilt from her previous life toward her parents and kin, and her remorse for Yan Beizheng and their child, mingled with a towering hatred that made Sheng Jingshu clench her fists in fury. I vow to drench the palace halls in blood, defy the Zhou Sui Emperor's throne with rivers of it. Just you wait. I will make you pay your blood debt in kind.
You wish this king to pay a blood debt? Then this king shall watch closely to see if you possess the means, the Bible says. Do you think this king has been too lenient with you? So eager to flee these walls? Perhaps these legs are surplus to you.
Shang Jingshu had no time to untangle his misconception before plunging into the terror of her past life. When Yan Beizheng had severed her legs with his own hand, the agony of splintering bone, the torment worse than death itself, as if that anguish had seeped from her previous life into this one. She bolted upright and clung desperately to Yan Beizheng. No, please, don't sever my legs.
If you wish to keep this king from lopping off your legs, then stay dutiful and still.
The man who moments ago had been lost to bloodlust's frenzy released his grip on her throat the instant Shang Jingshu embraced him. After a fleeting hesitation, he drew her close in return.
Should there be a next time?
This king will make good on his word. So this time, she is letting him off. This means she is compromising with him. Why compromise? Because unlike in her previous life, after he ruined her innocence, his eyes weren't filled with resentment, craving her death. Or is it because she hugged him? It is true. I know you're furious because I went to see Prince Yanzia.
But yes, I went to him precisely because I intend to elope with Prince Yanzia.
The man's face, which had just softened, darkened once more with a terrifying murderous intent. Just then, a woman suddenly clambered onto the carriage, and with a thud, knelt on the footboard beyond the curtain.
Your Highness the Regent King, please spare Sister Jingshu. Sister Jingshu has admired His Highness, the second prince, since childhood. In order to be with His Highness, the second prince, she would stop at nothing. This is common knowledge throughout the capital.
That is Zhou Shuibi's voice. She arrived so quickly. She must have been lying in wait nearby, just biding her time until Yan Beizheng caught me, then leaping out to stage this farce. She is seizing the chance to drive a knife into my back, stoking Yan Beizheng's disgust toward me, so he'll treat me with even greater cruelty. How laughable that in her previous life, she never saw through it, and she even thanked Zhou Shuibi for braving Yan Beizheng's wrath to speak on her behalf. Afterward, time and again, she became Zhou Shuibi's stepping stone, elevating her from a mere illegitimate daughter of a minor official to the most coveted noble lady in the capital. With a resounding bang, the shopkeeper shoved Zhou Shuibi off the carriage. Shuibi, are you all right? Of course, he wasn't truly concerned for Zhou Shuibi, but intended to exploit her to stage a calculated performance, to quell the raging fury of Regent Prince Yan Beizheng.
Seventh uncle, little sister, I'm truly sorry. I failed to help you be with His Highness the second prince.
Shang Jingshu suddenly withdrew her hand. No, Shuibi, don't say that. With a heavy thud, Zhou Shuibi tumbled down once more, crawling at Shang Jingshu's feet, grimacing in agony, her lips twisting. Only then did she realize that Shang Jingshu had emerged from the carriage, wrapped in Regent Prince Yan Beizheng's outer robe. In that instant, the seething jealousy in Zhou Shuibi's eyes threatened to drown her very reason.
That damned Shang sister claimed she was nothing but a foolish, vulgar merchant's daughter. So why did she earn the Regent Prince's favor? She was always so impulsive, and I deceived her completely. Back then, she chased after Yanzi and Yan in her fine brocade robes. So why hadn't she made a public fool of herself this time? Little sister, if only I'd planned it more meticulously, you'd already be with His Highness the second prince by now.
In my past life, she was so naive, believing Zhou Shuibi's affections toward her were genuine. Seeing Zhou Shuibi struck and injured by Yan Beizheng, clad in tattered garments, a crowd emerged from the carriage, gazed upon by the encircling onlookers, thus branded as a harlot entangled in premarital illicit unions, her reputation forever tarnished as a disgraced slut. Yet these dozens of spectators surrounding them were all hired by Zhou Shuibi herself with her own coins. In this life, she had deliberately wrapped herself tightly before stepping out. Yet Zhou Shuibi still yearned to rip that robe away. Shui, bye. Say no more. It is all my fault for dragging you into this. Shang Jinshu clenched the hand hidden within his robe, forcing down the deep-seated hatred he felt toward Zhou Shuibi. Ever since I learned that the second prince had deceived me, conspiring with my cousin to scheme against me, for exploiting me so callously, I came to despise him utterly, even driven by impulse to want to kill him. But he is an imperial noble's son. After all, killing him would be a capital offense. Yet you are still willing to help me. I am truly grateful to you.
What did you say? What nonsense is this wretched girl spouting? I can't make sense of a single word.
Does my king's Jing'er truly dare to assassinate a prince?
Spare me. This humble maiden is but young, and ignorant of the ways between men and women. It was the second prince himself who came to our estate to present gifts to this humble maiden, professing his deep admiration for me again and again, vowing to take this humble maiden as his wife, and I believed every word to be true. Regarding him as my destined husband, betrothed to him, and heeding his every command, yielding to him in all things. Only later, she began to distance herself from this humble maiden, and I thought it was because I had not treated her well enough, so to curry her favor, I committed many foolish acts. But when this humble maiden discovered her, entangled with a cousin from my very household, only then did I realize he had deceived this humble maiden from beginning to end. Back then, my heart was sincere toward him. With this humble maiden's resentment unresolved, I sought the 7th Mrs. aid to arrange a meeting with the second prince, seizing the chance to kill him and bear the sin as this humble maiden, now surrendering this weapon of harm, beseeching the imperial uncle, in light of this humble maiden's unsuccessful plot, to merely sever this humble maiden's head, and spare Miss Jochi as well as my family. The tip has been honed to a razor-sharp edge, which might just barely pass as a weapon of harm.
He knew of the sordid entanglements between Lord Yanzi and Sheng Li. I want to go kill Yanzi.
What a bold and unexpected excuse.
Sheng Jinshu stepped forward.
Your Highness the Regent, things aren't as Sheng Jinshu described.
He swiftly struck with a pillow talk ploy, yanking Sheng Jinshu to her feet and pulling her into his embrace. Huaijing, careful, this hairpin is poisoned. Huaijing is Yan Beizhong the courtesy name, and now she suddenly realizes, Huaijing, that this Jin must refer to the rumor that the regent originally had no courtesy name, only taking one after heading to the battlefield. Sheng Jinshu's heart suddenly pounds thump, thump, a strange sensation she has never felt before. Yan Beizhong pauses in stunned silence. Then the corners of his mouth curve upward slightly. He bends down and scoops Sheng Jinshu into his arms horizontally, striding back to the carriage.
Today, when this king came to the outskirts for an outing with Jing'er, whoever dares to wag their tongue will be killed without mercy.
This robe doesn't suit you. I don't like it.
Sheng Jinshu quickly presses her hands against his chest. Hold on, I have something to say to you.
I put on quite the act, tricking this king into softening toward you, only to back out now.
Yan Beizhong's aura turns chillingly cold once more.
You still plan to run?
You saw right through my performance. He is not so easily fooled. I do want to be with you, Imperial Uncle, but you should give me time to settle my previous entanglement. If I carry my hatred for the second prince into our bond, it would only gnaw at you too.
Tell me, Imperial Uncle, do you hate Yanzi?
No, it is him. I despise the betrayal most. How he used Yanzi to deceive me, betraying me, toying with you, wasting all these years of my life. But my hatred doesn't stop at him. I also plan to exact my revenge. If I can't kill him, then I'll destroy everything he holds dear, making his life a living hell. At this moment, Sheng Jinshu couldn't help but recall the vendetta from her past life, the overwhelming grief and hatred surging uncontrollably within her. And suddenly, a daring plan formed in her mind. With her own strength alone, even with the foreknowledge of this life, she could never stand against Yan Ziyi, backed by imperial power, to safeguard herself and her family, and make those people pay a grievous price. She would inevitably need to borrow outside power. And wasn't Yan Beizhong the most formidable ally of all? Regent Prince, will you help me teach Yan Ziyan a lesson? Yan Beizhong's Adam's apple bobbed once, his voice growing ever more husky.
Call me Huaijin.
Huaijin sensed the danger radiating from the man, and Sheng Jinshu promptly yielded to him. Trust me one more time. I truly want to make Yan Ziyan pay, and I won't run away again. If you're willing, I can stay by your side forever, rubbing your shoulders, massaging your legs for you, even bear your children. A flicker of light swiftly crossed Yan Beizhong's eyes, and he abruptly pulled back, sitting up straight. Very well. He lowered his eyelids, concealing the storm of emotions within. He uttered just one word. All right.
Aren't you supposed to warm this king's bed and bear his child? Then let's get to it.
I wonder if he returned to the capital from the battlefield in his previous life. If he had, he'd learn how miserably he and their children met their end. Would that fill him with rage? or sorrow. Reborn in this life, this man who once filled her with utter loathing and terror now brought her a profound sense of security, and she knew that, as he carried her into the room, he wouldn't lay a harmful hand on her. For soon, his guard Chang Yemi would summon him, claiming urgent military matters demanded his attention elsewhere. Seizing the moment of his absence, she'd trash the room beyond recognition, yank down the bed curtains, and stage a desperate attempt to hang herself. All he wanted was a proper night's sleep, and upon waking, Yanzia would arrive. Another trap in the making. If he bungled it, Yan Beizhang would make him suffer terribly, robbing him of any chance to recover. As expected, no sooner had Yan Beizhang laid him on the bed than Yiming called out from beyond the door.
My lord, urgent tidings from the army. Please proceed to the study.
Yan Beizhang was visibly displeased. A warning glint simmering in his eyes, yet he turned and headed to the study all the same.
Uncle Shengji, come out! You're really here in the Regent Prince's mansion!
Ah, the second prince has finally dragged himself out of Sheng, Dai's den of delights.
It must be because he learned of my affair with Dai. In Shengji's ledger of wrongs, even if I've let you down and broken the vows I made to you, but feelings between a man and a woman know no right or wrong. Dai and I are simply two souls in mutual bliss. As for you, Shengji says you harbor feelings for me, and that touches me deeply. So here is what we'll do. First, come away from the Regent Prince's mansion with me. I promise you, when I take Dai as my wife, let you become his side consort, and enter the mansion together to serve me.
The second prince may not know I have this quirk. If he knew that at this very moment, Regent Prince Yan has already arrived, standing just beyond the courtyard wall, listening in. As for me, I love cleanliness on something's been soiled by others. I want no part of it.
Sister Sheng says, are you insulting this prince? Don't forget, you're just a vulgar, lowly maidservant, illiterate and ignorant of classical texts, utterly clueless about music, chess, calligraphy, or painting. This prince can let you become Di's side consort. That is a tremendous blessing for you. Are you resenting me for this? Fine, young girls like to throw a little tantrum. This prince will indulge you once more. Stop making a fuss and leave here with this prince right now.
It is over. The master is about to unleash a massacre. When the master flies into a rage, he commands 1,000,000 troops. Blood flowing from miles. Which man could withstand that woman in the inner chambers?
She is no mere innocent maiden from the boudoir. So how could the second prince still accept me? You nearly cursed out loud, teasing the emperor like that, your face turning ashen with suppressed fury, barely managing to hold back your anger.
In anger, you say, Uncle Regent is precisely such a man, with a savage temperament, who delights in destroying what others hold dear. It is his fault for ruining your chastity. This prince won't blame you. You'll just drink a bowl of contraceptive decoction and keep this matter under wraps.
Second prince, I thought you were a clever man, but I never imagined you couldn't even understand plain speech. In that case, I'll spell it out more clearly. I like clean things. But with you and Sheng Dai tangled up together, it is soiled, so I want none of it. I've chosen a new man for myself. This is the second prince's imperial uncle, the reigning regent, Prince Yan Beizhang, and I'm quite pleased.
Sister Zhang says you've lost your mind. You're debasing yourself utterly.
How did this happen? This foolish woman who once obeyed his every whim now seems to have suddenly come to her senses, realizing just how badly he treated her, and truly wants to be with Yan Beizhang. The second prince says this is rather excessive. Don't you think? I merely wish to be with the imperial uncle. Yet the second prince accuses me of willingly debasing myself. Heish. So in the second prince's eyes, the imperial uncle is nothing but a lowly wretch. What nonsense! But in my eyes, the imperial uncle is elegant and noble, with a heart that embraces the realm. A man like the second prince, all show and no substance, cannot even compare to the imperial uncle's little toe. What did you say? I mean, in terms of power, the imperial uncle holds sway over the court. The second prince lacks even the qualification to attend court, which must be granted by the emperor himself. In terms of influence, the imperial uncle's reach spans the 4 realms, unimpeded across the world. Yet the second prince cannot even leave the capital. As for looks, the imperial uncle shines like the moon on the horizon, while the second prince is but a fleeting willow in spring. Even when it comes to being a man, I know all too well how at such a young age, you're already so inadequate. It is truly worrisome for the future. But the imperial uncle is a different story altogether. After all, the second prince, as my betrothed from Shengjing, dared to declare in my very presence his intent to wed Sheng Dai as his principal wife. He scorned and humiliated me with his betrayal, and now, seeing him still try to coax me into becoming his concubine, even the second prince knows a clay figure has 3 points of fire in its temper. I, Sheng Jingshu, may have been blind before, but that doesn't mean I'll stay that way forever. Of course not now. But if the second prince wishes to marry Sheng Dai, that is not impossible. He simply needs to go before the emperor himself and confess your adulterous affair with Shang Daiyi, annul the betrothal between us, and then you can frolic in bliss with your precious Shang Daiyi. And I can be with my imperial uncle till the end of time.
In your dreams! How dare you treat this prince like this? Tai Yi was absolutely right. You are nothing but a vulgar, lowly wench, reeking from head to toe. Do you truly believe that, after one night with Yan Beicheng, he has become your shield? He has only just returned from the barren frontiers, untouched by the slightest whiff of courtly intrigue. You've tasted a bit of his favor. Do you really fancy yourself fit to be the regent's consort? As if you could ever be worthy.
Whether I am worthy or not is none of your concern, second prince. But remember this, second prince, the humiliations you and Sheng Dai have inflicted upon me, I will not let them go unanswered. In my past life, until his dying breath, Yan Beicheng kept me as his nameless, unacknowledged woman. But in this life, so long as I can exact my vengeance under his protection, I would gladly be his woman for yet another lifetime. It would be my willing choice.
Sheng Jingshu, are you truly set on defying this prince? Are you certain you won't leave the regent's mansion with this prince? If he can no longer control Sheng Jingshu, better to kill her outright. Once she is dead, the Sheng family will still have Miss Sheng Daiyi as its sole daughter. And as long as I marry Sheng Daiyi, I can still claim everything the Sheng family has to offer.
In this lifetime, I will never be with you again, second prince. In that instant of terror, a dark shadow suddenly loomed over her, followed by Yan Ziyi's agonized scream in her ear. She saw Yan Ziyi clutching his hand, writhing in pain on the ground. Sister Hua, save me! Yan Ziyi is trying to kill me!
Are you all right?
I don't want to die. I still want to go home and see my father and mother. It has been so long since I've seen them.
I'll send you home first thing tomorrow morning.
Hurry, sister. You're so kind.
Leave me be. He was overjoyed at that.
Just as she was about to reconsider. Would you come back with me? I just want my parents to have a better impression of you. After all, we're destined to be together.
Regent Imperial Uncle. The paper sprite murmurs on purple leaves and yellow parchment. Uncle, what does it matter to you? Imperial Uncle!
The paper figure is merely jesting with you. I harbor not the slightest disloyalty towards you.
Did I think your lifespan stretched across lifetimes before? Wanting Uncle to see you off on your final journey.
Spare me, Uncle. It is all just a misunderstanding. Your nephew merely thought to take the betrothal letter away. Uncle, as you know, the betrothal letter binds me to my fiancée. Of course, if Uncle takes a fancy to her, your nephew can offer her to you at once.
You claim Jing'er is your fiancée?
No, she is yours, Uncle.
Only then did Yan Beizheng feel slightly appeased. Yan Ziyan scrambled up, gritting through the pain, fleeing swifter than a startled hare. Gazing at his ignominious fleeing silhouette, Sheng Jingshu's eyes burned with icy venom. Such a craven wretch who bullies the weak and cowers before the strong. Yet he inflicted a lifetime of torment upon me.
Dare glance at him once more, and this king will pluck out your eyes. Little Jing has learned to spar with this king, hasn't she? But if Little Jing seeks to deceive this king, best do so until the day this king draws his last breath. Otherwise, should she ever hold back from bearing law before me, or dare even a whisper of defiance or malice against me.
The man suddenly chuckled.
You're trembling before this king.
The man's voice simmered with the promise of bloodshed and storm. When pleased, he calls himself I. When wrathful, this king. She had discerned this long ago.
This king had thought you'd grown meek, but no, your schemes have only deepened. Your arts of deception refined.
I'm afraid of pain. My parents and brother know full well. I'm the most timid of pain, mother. Even an ant's nip leaves me weeping half the day. I'm afraid of pain. Tian Beizhang's body went rigid. After all these years alive, at this moment, he suddenly felt his face flushing hot. Does this little thing know how his words set one's blood aflame?
Hey, even an ant's bite has you bawling for half a day. So when I bit you, how come I didn't hear a peep?
I cried my heart out. My throat's still sore from it. You just weren't listening. Tian Beizhang realized for the first time that there were words in this world beyond his grasp. A flicker of bewilderment crossing his eyes. He'd already made his words as plain as day. Heaven knows it took the accumulated nerve of 2 lifetimes to voice such brazen words. Tian Beizhang finally grasped what Sheng Jingshu meant. Indeed, it was his oversight. But his little Jing'er was so daring, speaking so forthrightly.
He cherished Xiao Jin'er. If she behaved a touch more sweetly, this king might deign to spare her. For now.
Sheng Jingshu's heart surged with sudden joy. This was the first time he'd proclaimed it so unequivocally to her. He would let her go. Sheng Jingshu hesitated a moment, before finally voicing the question that had tormented her soul across 2 lifetimes. Huaijian, why did you choose me? Everyone in the capital knows. I hail from merchant stock, though blessed by the emperor's grace. My father was raised to marquis. My mother honored with a noble title. My 2 elder brothers claimed court posts. Yet we remain mere upstarts, our foundations shallow, beneath the notice of true nobility. And didn't the second prince himself declare that I am utterly unlettered, ignorant of zither, chess, poetry, or painting, crude and lowly, unfit for elegant halls? So why on earth would you want me? You wouldn't be after our family's money too, would you? In the eyes of the world, I'm not even fit to be your maid. So why on earth have you set your sights on me?
If this king wants someone, do I still need to care about what the world thinks? This king says you're worthy. Then you're worthy. Why bother with the opinions of those fools?
The prince may not care about the world's opinions and gossip, but I have parents and family. I don't want them dragged down because of my tarnished reputation, surrounded by all sorts of rumors. Huaiqi, I'm not being greedy, and I know I have no right to demand any status from you. But since we've already formed this bond, could you at least announce to the world that I'm your concubine? I just don't want others to curse me as shameless, loose by nature, and to blame my parents for raising such a disgraceful daughter, bringing ruin to the capital.
Who dares to curse you like that? This king will go chop them up right now.
If the prince doesn't want to, then forget it. She had clearly told herself to please him at all costs. But in this moment, the grievances in her heart could no longer be held back. He frowned slightly, puzzled why Huaijing was suddenly throwing a tantrum at him. But soon, a pleased curve tugged at the corners of his mouth. Her asking him for a status meant she truly intended to be with him from now on, right?
Yiming, go to the palace yourself, and fetch the imperial genealogy from the emperor.
The imperial jade register. The Yan family genealogy. That is for legitimate heirs used only to add descendants to the official records.
Could it be the woman inside is with child?
Impossible. Even if the master is as fierce as can be, he just received the imperial decree.
It is impossible for him to be fooling around again so soon. This king will twist your head off. What are you waiting for? Yes, Master Yiming hurried into the palace. Call Hu, then follow me to the study.
Yan Beizheng's principal wife. Combined, it forms Yan Beizheng's lawful consort, the imperial genealogy of the Shengshi Jinshu royal lineage.
Yiming appointed as the deputy commander of the secret guards in the mansion. From this day forward, Sheng Jianshu shall be the mistress of this household, and the only wife I, Yan Beizheng, will ever have in this lifetime. From this day forward, Yiming shall lead a small team tasked with protecting the Wangfei. Should the Wangfei suffer the slightest harm, bring your head to me upon the proclamation of the imperial decree. Keep this matter strictly confidential for now, and after this king weds the Wangfei in a grand ceremony, we shall proclaim it to all under heaven. Wangfei, do you have any objections? This subordinate dares not object. First, Yiming pays his respects to the Wangfei.
Shen Jing remains in a state of shock.
Any developments on Prince Yan's side?
After the second prince returned to his residence, he summoned the imperial physician into the mansion, then held a clandestine meeting with his advisors and maternal uncle, together unearthing the master's vulnerabilities and leverage. At the same time, he dispatched a messenger to Shang Jie and Shang Dai, instructing Shang Dai to urgently spread rumors of eldest Miss Shang Jie's impurity. The contents of the letter are as follows.
Do you know what must be done?
Our lord has already sent men to round up everyone spreading those rumors, and no one can tarnish eldest Miss Shang's spotless reputation.
Yes, my Wangfei, indeed.
This subordinate is prepared to sign a military warrant. No one in the capital's imperial city can sully it, merely because the Wangfei entered the Wangfu ahead of schedule.
The Wangfei's reputation stands unblemished.
Yet, deploy those men to whisper of the temple's secrets to the southern travelers in the capital, ensuring every solid detail of Shang Dai's liaison with that foreign man is laid bare, forcing Yanzi to emerge and confess before noon tomorrow. Admitting aloud to the filth wrought by those under his command. As for Yanzi, I shall handle him personally.
Yes, my lord. Miss Sheng Di's tactics are quite something, aren't they? Sheng Di has cunningly lured her sister's man into her grasp, step by step. The two Shang sisters vie fiercely for the second prince, the elder sister claiming the title first, while the younger seizes the man himself. Who wins and who loses remains to be seen. The talented beauty Shang Dai appears pure and lofty on the surface, yet, in secret, her debauched seduction techniques rival those of the courtesan's arts. Shang Di truly excels at shedding her clothes, trampling over her sister to climb to power. Her Fengzheng secret arts, 36 ways to ensnare with feminine wiles. A shameless vixen whose brazen skin knows no shame, unrivaled under heaven.
If you keep wriggling like that, This king will have no choice but to act.
A fairy must honor her word.
But this is no gentleman's promise. See this king smile. Don't forget, you are now this king's Wangfei, and this king can do with you as he pleases.
I said it. I'm not greedy, as Sister Sheng said.
Whether you will it or not, whether I desire it or not, this king will never let you go. Remember clearly anything concerning this king. This king permits your greed. Within this king's domain, you may kill. Set traps to bury foes as you wish. Bully others to your heart's content. But let no one bully you, and show no excessive intimacy with outsiders. Sparing this king no mercy in your affections. Behave yourself, and don't force this king to deal harshly with you.
Do you understand? Huaijin, you were ignorant before. You have all the time in the world to think of me now, and it feels just right.
Sleep now. We'll return home tomorrow. Lest your parents think I have mistreated their precious daughter. Remember your words. Don't even think of fleeing this king's domain, and harbor not the slightest notion of betraying this king. Obey me, for this is the very last chance this king grants you.
I will obey.
My lord, people from the Sheng family have arrived.
Who is the eldest young master of the Sheng family?
Sheng Chengyi, the emperor's honored guard.
This is my big brother. In my previous life, he arrived even later, tricked into coming by Sheng Dai. Sheng Di stirred up trouble right in front of my big brother, claiming that I was tormented by Yan Beizheng in the regent prince's mansion to the point of preferring death to life, urging big brother to leverage his status as the emperor's guard to force Yan Beizheng to release me. So my straightforward big brother knelt right at the gate of the regent prince's mansion, waiting for Yan Beizheng to emerge, then loudly accused Yan Beizheng of being cruel and ruthless for forcibly seizing 2 women. Yan Beizheng was utterly furious at the time and issued a harsh ultimatum. If Big Brother was willing to sever his own arm, he might consider letting him go. Unexpectedly, Big Brother followed through without a moment's hesitation, becoming a disabled man, ridiculed by all from that day on. But Yan Beizheng didn't let him go, because he had only said he would consider releasing him, not that he definitely would. And I, since I wasn't successfully rescued, instead selfishly blamed Big Brother for his incompetence, which broke Big Brother's heart. Sister Huai, let's hurry out to meet Big Brother. My big brother has a straightforward mind that doesn't bend. If he is just here to take me home, that would be fine. But if he is being swayed by others' provocations, thinking you've mistreated me, he might cause a scene, damaging both your and his reputations in the process, and that would pain me to no end.
Take a moment to catch your breath first. Once your attire is in order,
Then we'll go out to greet him. My lord, though you are Daxing's god of war, you can't just overpower him by force.
Big Brother, what are you doing? You've lost the martial duel to the prince's envoy, but the regent prince only made you kneel and concede defeat. It was just empty words. After all, in our Daxing dynasty, who doesn't he know the regent prince took to the battlefield at just 11? His martial prowess forged in the heat of real battles with live steel. Not even Daxing has a match for him. Let alone across the 4 kingdoms. You lasted 20 moves against the regent prince. That is impressive enough for Sheng Chengyi to hold out 20 moves against the regent prince in a straight one-on-one duel. He has never seen anyone last even 10. Alright, even he himself would fall within 5 moves. This princess sure knows how to gild her brother's reputation. Sheng Chengyi freezes in shock.
Sister, you...
Get up, quick! Big brother, no matter who sent you here, what they told you isn't true. Get up now. If we're late, we'll all have to leave.
Sheng Chengyi rises. Your Highness, the regent prince, my foolish little sister has been inconsiderate.
Bothering you for days on end. This humble official will take her home at once. After all, with my little sister staying in the regent prince's mansion, I'm afraid some ignorant fools might twist the truth and tarnish both your highnesses and her reputations.
how dare they? This king saved her from that relapse. Find someone to treat her, and now her wits are a burden to others. Yining, go investigate who has been gossiping about this king. Find one, kill one, find 2. Chop them both. They call it the president's prince's nonsense. This subordinate just heard this one slandering your highness. Execute without mercy.
Everyone around trembles in terror. No. I'll never wag my tongue again. Not for the rest of my life.
No, I beseech the regent king to release my sister and let her return home.
Sheng Chengyi, do you know that this king has a rule?
I know the regent king forbids anyone from approaching within 5 steps. Any who draw near shall die. Regent king, if my sister has offended you in any way, might I implore the regent king to show mercy
And exchange my life for my sister's freedom.
So, you're a man who fears not death.
Very well.
This king shall grant Shangjing.
She said she was utterly terrified that Yan Beicheng would truly harm her elder brother, and at that moment, she could not betray even a sliver of distrust toward Yan Beicheng.
Don't be nervous. You are the young lady's elder brother. In the days to come, this king will rely on you to safeguard the young lady. Come, this king shall pay a visit to the Sheng family today. I trouble the elder brother to lead the way for Lord Shen.
The regent king has urgent matters to attend to on a whim. He dispatched his subordinate to relay the message. Please return with Miss Wang ahead of time.
We dare not delay the Regent King's vital affairs. Please, General Yan Ming, convey my message to the Regent King. I thank the Regent King once more for his gracious care toward my young sister at home. And should the opportunity arise, I, Sheng Changyi, shall surely repay the Regent King's immense kindness.
Lord Sheng, no need for such formality. The days ahead stretch long, and you shall have ample chances to repay the prince in due time. Miss Jing, please proceed slowly.
It is elder sister returning. So soon. Hurry. Come with me to welcome elder sister back to the mansion. Elder brother, he is here, sister. You've endured such hardship in the Regent King's mansion. The Regent King's consort. Sister, don't take it too hard. For now, our Marquis mansion brims with wealth and grain. All thanks to you, sister. Even if sister never marries henceforth, she'll want for nothing.
Amidst this, she lifted her gaze and caught sight of Shang Changyi.
Big brother! Big brother! How come it is you? I thought it was sister in the carriage. Regent! The Regent won't let sister come home. Big brother, sister's fate is so cruel. Taken by force by the Regent, just like that. What will she do now?
Merciful heavens, is the Regent's business something you can gossip about? I warn you, speak only what you must. Keep silent on the rest. No loose talk here.
Damn that Shang Changyi for embarrassing me in front of everyone. He has clearly been bewitched by that wretch Shang Jing. Big brother, I didn't mean to speak of sister like that. I was just worried for her. Big brother! It was my mistake in speaking. Big brother, rest assured, no matter what befalls sister out there, I won't utter a single word. Then, big brother, shall we enter the mansion? Since sister couldn't return, we'll go in and plan our next steps. Uncle's coming down, also sister returned with big brother after all. That is wonderful.
Sheng Di, spare me that false show of concern. I know full well what you are, and the schemes you're hatching. Everything's crystal clear to me now, and I'm not your sister. Big brother isn't yours either. You're merely a guest in the Sheng household.
What do you mean by that? Sheng Jing, no, Miss Sheng. I know my birth is lowly, since my parents passed away. If not for the Sheng family's shelter, I'd have starved on the streets long ago. The Sheng family's boundless kindness to me, even repaying with grass and beak and ring and mouth wouldn't suffice. But please believe me, I truly worry for you. Knowing the Regent has restored your chastity, you can no longer marry the second prince. It breaks my heart.
Hold your tongue.
Sister, I'm only concerned for you. Why did you push me?
With a resounding slap, you, this rebellious daughter, have been gallivanting outside for days on end. And the moment you return, you bully your own sister. Is that how the Sheng family raised you?
Uncle, are you alright?
Uncle, please don't be angry with my sister. I simply tripped and fell on my own just now.
Don't you dare speak up for that wretch. You shameless creature. I were bringing a daughter like her into this world.
I merely fell prey to the Regent's mansion's fateful entanglement, as the Regent tended to my wounds for those few days. How does that make me shameless?
I am the rebellious daughter.
But what of the palace healer? Is she the obedient daughter who pleases her father? Yet it is precisely your obedient daughter who secretly consorts with outsiders behind everyone's back. As the scandal has spread like wildfire through the capital's elite circles, has father truly heard not a whisper of it? Even if he heard it in an instant, he feigns ignorance to favor Shang Dai.
It is my fault, Uncle, but I truly never intended for things to turn out this way. It was he who ensnared me.
Dai, so you've truly conceived, and the father is? Who is he? He took advantage of you. But the matchmaker's book promises you a marriage.
As I said, Uncle, Aunt, rest assured, the father of my child holds a most noble status. He has already returned home to consult with his parents, and soon he will come to the Sheng household to propose, to take me as his bride.
That is a relief. It is my failing that I didn't look after you properly. You've always been so innocent and pure-hearted, my dear. No doubt, you never realized the grave consequences of such actions. Thank heavens that man is one of honor, and since marriage is now in the offing, whether the child arrives a bit early or a little later, simply return to the estate and take good care of yourself. As for the dowry...
Miss Dai is truly formidable. She is gone and gotten herself married off just like that. She must have prepared her dowry well in advance. In her previous life, Dai Yi pulled the exact same trick. After Yan Beizheng locked her away in the regent's palace, Yan Ziye came to propose marriage, declaring his long-held admiration for Shang Di, vowing he would marry no one else. Yet Dai Yi feigned utter reluctance to steal her sister's betrothal. All to prove her sincerity, she even staged a dramatic failed suicide by headbutting the wall, claiming she wished only to serve her parents for life, which deeply moved her father and mother. So they bestowed the entirety of the Sheng family's wealth upon her as dowry, her father personally escorting her to the gate, her 3 brothers taking turns to carry her bridal sedan, cherished by her natal family and doted on by her husbands, a 10-mile red procession that dazzled the eyes of all in the capital. But in this life, Sheng Di won't squeeze another coin from the Sheng family. They say a daughter's dowry is settled before the groom's family even begins preparations. So Miss Dai's dowry preparation includes a child. A most thorough safeguard indeed. Aiming for a match as prestigious as the second prince, it is hardly a poor choice. Yet the second prince is the legitimate son of the current empress, and as early as when he was 10, the empress made it abundantly clear that any woman in the second prince's household, even if merely as a concubine, must be of impeccable virtue from a proper family, a noble-born legitimate daughter. You came to live in our home at the age of 9, because my father and mother have cherished you all these years, and we've indulged your piteous pleas time and again, taking you to banquets hosted by Kyoto's nobility, so much so that even the uninformed address you as Miss Shinger. If you were marrying into an ordinary household, we might let it slide, but you aspire to become a royal bride. Your lineage must be scrutinized thoroughly by the imperial family, and once revealed, you'll be exposed as one born to doom your father. At 3, you doomed your grandfather. At 5, you doomed your mother. At 6, you doomed the entire clan, a lone calamity star of a maiden, to serve as the second prince's consort.
Are you worthy, sister?
Are the whispers on the streets today truly as they've said? The one entangled with the second prince. Is it truly Sheng Dai?
Of course, it is true. No matter how willful I may be, I would never utter falsehoods before my kin. Sheng Yi, from cradle to now, I've shared every treasure with you, brought you to every gathering that honored our name, and confided every matter, great and small. All these years, I've held you as my own blood sister, and I dare say I've never wronged you once. But you, while feigning sisterly concern, you plied me with vile schemes, urging me to pursue the second prince, heedless of scandal or ruin, all the while scheming behind my back, behind father and mother's, behind my brothers, behind the entire Sheng family, to seduce the second prince. In the past, I often succumbed to your goading, committing acts most unseemly. At least the one I pursued was the man betrothed to me. But you, casting aside all modesty to wrest my betrothed from me, you stooped to disrobing and yielding yourself, even conceiving out of wedlock in shameless seduction. She still puts on that pitiful act, wanting to keep deceiving everyone. Father, mother, in the past it was I, your daughter, who was foolish, seeing the second prince with his fine looks. I was blinded by him and did some utterly foolish and absurd things. Now, having gone through all this, I finally realize that a person's heart is far more precious than mere flesh and skin. He is just a man, after all. If Cousin Dai truly desires him, I wouldn't mind yielding him to her, even if her status falls short. In our Sheng family, I am the only daughter. We could acknowledge her as the second miss, grant her an identity so she could marry in splendor without a care. But she deceived us, toyed with us, and schemed to use us to claw her way up. What is this? A case of uncontrollable passion. Is that excusable? No, she harbors sinister intentions, betrays our kindness with a wolf's heart and a dog's lungs.
That is not how it is. I didn't truly murder the prince. The second prince is a noble of the Tian clan. It is just that I didn't dare resist him.
So the second prince forced you, did he? But yesterday, the second prince stormed into the regent's palace, seeking me out, claiming I wasn't as soft and yielding as water like you. Sweet and submissive, willing to fulfill his every whim, anytime, anyway. Nor as skillful and nimble-fingered as you, who spent 3 years in the lady's palace personally embroidering a mandarin duck silk handkerchief for him. Sheng Yuanzheng's gaze darkened as he stared at Shang Yuyi in utter disbelief.
This child. Everyone believed her to be pure and kind-hearted. Yet she was concealing malice deep within all along. For what purpose? To trample the entire Sheng family and seize power and riches, glory and splendor. Sheng Dai, tell me, are all these things your uncle has said truly so?
Adoptive father, I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I'm so sorry to my cousin. I'm sorry to my uncle and aunt. I'm sorry for the immense kindness and benevolence of the Sheng family. But I truly never intended to sabotage my cousin's relationship with the second prince. Nor did I ever wish to harm my cousin. It is just that the second prince is such an exceptional man. I couldn't help but fall for him. The second prince and I share a mutual, heartfelt love.
What a handsome pair in true love, calling even a clandestine affair and premarital pregnancy such sordid, shameful acts true love, then what becomes of the rightful unions between virtuous maidens and noble sons in this world? Shang Di don't wail before the Shang household gates, dressed in such stark white, sobbing so wretchedly that the uninformed might think the Shang family in deepest mourning, with my parents still hale, yet the house steeped in disgrace. I won't abide your funeral lament here.
The cursed Shang clan will face its due once I become the second prince's consort and ascend as queen of a foreign realm. I vow to flay the Shang family's wretched skins clean, crush their bones to ash, uncle. Aunt and my 3 cousins, hear this well. Cousin, now that it has come to this, I know that no matter what I say, you will no longer believe me. But to me, you are all my closest, dearest kin. If my bearing the second prince's bloodline has brought you such displeasure, then to beg your forgiveness, I shall take this child with me and die together. Quick, father, don't! Mother, I truly have no face left to show any of you. Just let me perish with the child.
Craving death, are you? Very well, if death is what you seek, but do us the courtesy of dying far from here. Don't die at the doorstep of the Shang family. Shang Yi, since you're scheming to rise through your child, that surely means the pure royal bloodline must not be lost, right? The child isn't even born yet. If you smash yourself to death at the Shang family doorstep, are you trying to force our noble house to bear the grave crime of harming an imperial heir? Or are you simply using your death to threaten our noble house, making everyone in our house deceived and thoroughly exploited by you, and then forcing us to protect that lump of flesh in your belly by harming the 4th imperial heir, a sin that dooms 3 clans to annihilation?
Dai, does he want everyone in our Kyoto noble house wiped out too?
Shang Jing says, you wretched girl, how dare you, while this prince was away, bully her in the street.
Dai dodged Yanxi's slapping hand, and in one fluid motion, flung the hidden bone needles from her sleeve, stumbling straight into Meng Choyu's arms.
Second prince, are you going to kill me again?
She coated the silver needles with a potent toxin, enough to make even a hardened warrior drink a full pot of suffering. Serves you right, you wretch.
How dare you strike him with poisoned hands? Death would be too merciful for you.
Everyone else's faces turned grim.
What does the second prince mean by this? Who is the second prince cursing? My sister.
Second prince, before you start hurling insults, please get to the bottom of the truth. First, so many eyes are watching.
My sister didn't bully your precious Shang Dai at all.
It was because of her secret affair and illicit tryst that led to this pregnancy in the shadows, which has tarnished our family's spotless reputation. So she felt guilty for failing our family after all these years of raising and caring for her. That is why she wanted to atone with her own death. But who would have thought the child in her belly is actually of royal blood? My little sister was only trying to protect that imperial bloodline, and talked her out of doing something so foolish. How did it become in the second prince's eyes that my little sister was bullying her?
You lofty ladies are so furious. Your faces are turning pale.
Firstly, the child in my belly carries the bloodline of this prince. Should anything happen to it, this prince will wipe out your entire Shang clan.
The second prince acts with benevolence and speaks with grace. Since the second prince has arrived, this marquis has a few questions for the second prince. Do you still uphold the rights of our era? In this marquis's household, it was made clear, no marriage unless to my legitimate daughter, Shang Jianshu. This marquis, moved by the second prince's pure sincerity, only then consented to the betrothal between Jianshu and the second prince. Who would have thought the second prince would be ensnared by this Jianshu and my home mansion, by an orphaned girl from outside, sneaking across Chenkang in secret? Now even a child has come of it. This counts as betrayal, as deception, does it not? So give this marquis and Jianshu an explanation.
Yanzi was stunned for a moment, only then realizing her actions had gone too far. The surroundings were already crowded with onlookers, who had begun whispering in gossip, pleading with the marquis.
The second prince's refusal to explain is one thing, but to hurl insults at my daughter without cause or reason, and even just now, attempt to lay hands on her in violence. What reason could justify that? Though Shang Di was raised in my home mansion, we never taught her to seduce another woman's betrothed. We have no idea how the child in her belly came about. Should any mishap befall her child, what business is that of my home mansion? Yet the second prince threatens to exterminate my entire home mansion. What twisted logic is that? The second prince may be a noble son of the imperial house, enjoying the exalted status of the Tianjia, but to annihilate my Shang clan, that is a right reserved for the emperor alone. Even if the second prince harbors ambitions to ascend the throne, but before ascending to that lofty position, our Shang clan in full, I'm afraid you still won't be able to wipe us out.
Hearing these words, Shang Jingshu only felt that the heart riddled with holes from her previous life was once again filled with this warmth. Her family is so wonderful. Seeing her wronged, they'd rather risk offending a prince of the imperial house to seek justice for her. Father, by saying that, you're underestimating the second prince. Now, in the imperial court, the eldest prince is frail and sickly. The third prince has yet to return from the borderlands. The fourth prince has lost much face. The fifth prince harbors no desire for power. Only the second prince remains, closest to the crown prince's seat. Perhaps one day, the second prince ascends to power. With a mere smile from his favored beauty, our Shang clan could be utterly destroyed. However, with the current emperor still in his vigorous prime, hale and hearty, the second prince is already bearing his ambitions so soon, which is rather unseemly. In our great Qing dynasty, filial piety is held above all. Even in humble households, no son wishes for his father's early death. The second prince's ambitions are far too grand. A single charge could come crashing down upon him.
Sister Zheng says, don't slander him. This prince harbors no such intentions whatsoever.
No such intentions. You have no desire to climb to such heights. What intentions does the second prince truly hold? That is for the second prince alone to know. It concerns neither me, Shang Jingshu, nor the house of Yong'an Marquis, nor our Sheng clan in any way. However, since the second prince has come to our Sheng household and acknowledged the bloodline in Sheng Dai and Sheng Daianese wombs, then I shall make certain matters clear to the second prince before all present. 3 years ago, the second prince himself professed his admiration for me, vowing to marry no one but me. And so we became betrothed. Thus, I came to regard the second prince as my future husband. Whatever pleased the second prince, I would do without hesitation, even to the extent of pandering to his every whim, earning myself a rather unsavory reputation as the capital's foremost husband, chaser, and flirt. Yet, over these 3 years, the second prince has been secretly entangled with Sheng Dai behind my back. Their affair runs deep, but his heart proves cold and ruthless. Fickle and faithless though he is, painful as the deception may be, I am not one to grasp tightly what I must release. But before I returned home, the second prince proposed that I arrange for Sheng Dai to become a side consort, an utter impossibility. Though the Sheng family rose from merchant roots, we have been ennobled by the emperor's own imperial decree. As the legitimate daughter of the Sheng family, even if I cared nothing for my own reputation, I must safeguard the Sheng family's honor and the dignity of the imperial house. Even if the second prince hounds me to my death, I would never stoop to making a side consort of some vixen who once served in our Sheng household.
What absurdity is this? Having my uncle take Shang Di as a side consort. I refuse. I absolutely will not consent to my uncle taking anyone as a side consort.
Mother, rest assured, in this life, I will not only refuse to become anyone's side consort, but sever all ties with the second prince forevermore. Second prince, as I, Shang Jing, have declared, though I am no fiery virago, such betrayal I cannot endure. Mother, how unjustly you and Shang Dai have treated me. It fills me with rage. Today, I swear before all present, from this day forward, I, Sheng Jingshu, shall share no relation whatsoever with the second Prince Yan Ziyi. For the rest of my life, I, Sheng Jingshu, will never again utter a word to the second prince. If Yan has any romantic entanglements with men, severing your hands and feet for such a thing.
As if you die without an intact corpse. And yet you still say, have you truly thought this through? Do you really intend to sever all ties with this prince? This prince is telling you now, last night. Father Emperor decreed my appointment. This prince, as crown prince. The Grand Court Assembly tomorrow will proclaim it. This prince concedes, though you would enter my residence merely as a side consort. You alone could bear a son for me. Just as with Dai, this prince could elevate your status a little. You are indeed the legitimate daughter of the whole mansion. But everyone in the capital knows the Sheng family's noble title was nothing more than bought with money. Your status isn't truly that exalted. Moreover, Dai possesses true talent and grace, whereas you are utterly illiterate. No knowledge of classics or poetry in your chest. It is only because this prince overlooks your lowly origins that I've granted you this place at all. Sheng Jingshu, you ought to know contentment.
Second prince? Regardless of whether you're the second prince or hold any other title, the whole mansion will never send its daughter to your household. If you fancy Sheng Daiani, then take Sheng Daiani and go. Leave at once. Our whole mansion's daughter would sooner remain unmarried for life, and our humble mansion can well afford to support her.
I harbor not the slightest affection for the second prince. And moreover, our humble Shen household is too small a temple, ill-suited to wait upon a great Buddha bearing the noble imperial bloodline. I beseech the second prince to promptly take away his woman and child for proper settlement, so that henceforth Yang and Ho Mansion shall have no further ties whatsoever to the imperial house. Oh, and by the way, my betrothal to the second prince was one arranged under the emperor's own inquiry. At tomorrow's grand court assembly, I request the second prince to formally declare the dissolution of our betrothal to the emperor, severing all bonds between us cleanly and completely, and then properly welcome Shang Dai into your estate, lest your bloodline be left adrift outside, reduced to mere kin of your aunt and her husband.
Since you're determined to cast me out of the household, and exile you, sister, Dai was wrong. Dai was selfish. Dai was greedy. Dai lost her senses, shamelessly stealing away my sister's man. But truly, Dai never meant to harm any of you. Dai had her own hardships, you see. Ever since I came to the Sheng household, everyone in the Sheng family has treated me with utmost kindness. My heart overflows with gratitude for that. Yet my name was never entered into the Sheng family registry of the capital. I am not truly one of the Shengs, and after all these years, though I may appear as a young lady of the Shengs, in truth, I rank even below the household servants and maids. Those servants and maids, I am a houseborn servant of the Sheng family. I even sold a kidney to the Sheng family. All of them are Sheng family folk. But me, I'm just a rootless drifter, a floating duckweed orphan. The Shengs took pity on me, gave me a roof over my head, a few mouthfuls of rice to fill my belly. And one day, when uncle and aunt grow old, when brother weds the principal daughter-in-law, and she crosses the threshold, will they still treat me with such kindness? Uncle, aunt, brother, principal, sister-in-law, I'm just so afraid, so utterly panicked. That is why I resorted to any means to secure a worthy match for myself. But I'm still so young, and in the past, I've only attended young ladies' gatherings. I could never hope to meet a finer suitor than the second prince. The second prince, he is the noblest suitor in all the great Qing dynasty. And once I'd laid eyes on him, how could I ever fancy another? I simply couldn't help myself.
This only deepened the pity that Yan Zuijiyu, ever swayed by her pleas, felt for her.
Dai, you're still carrying his child up. You get up. Why speak such words? It was no seduction on your part that drew this prince. But this prince who set his sights on you, rest easy. This prince will most certainly stand by you. Forsake them. You still have this prince.
He had meant to say, forsake the Yong'an Marquise's mansion, but suddenly recalled his own mother and the very purpose for which he had schemed so desperately to draw close to the Shangs, forcing him to choke back those damning words. This made Shang Dai all the more acutely aware that she could not afford to lose the Shang family's vital support.
Auntie, you are my mother's own sister, and I lost my mother when I was but a child. All these years, I've cherished you as my own dear mother. So please, regard this as forgiving a wayward daughter just once. Forgive your daughter this one time. I beg you, mother, please don't banish your daughter from the Yong'an Marquis' mansion.
As the regent decrees.
Marquis of Yong'an, why are all your household members gathered outside the mansion today? In response to your highness, the regent. We're just putting on a play in the residence. What is this white-robed actor wailing about like a funeral dirge? Fine acting skills. Ye Mingshao is the regent.
Yan Beizhang flicked Shang Dai's forehead with satisfaction.
That actor doesn't even kneel to the regent's phone.
Shang Jianshe nearly burst out laughing. Yan Beizhang's little ploy was truly delightful to him, while Shang Dai trembled with fury from head to toe.
This humble lady kneels to thank the regent's young lady.
Whose lady are you? Which family's lady dares to be so bold? The regent didn't even command her eyes yet. She stands on her own. Such disrespect to the regent.
This actor must think her life is too long. Imperial uncle and lord father, she is a daughter of the Marquis of Yong'an's household. She is my woman, and already carries my child in her belly. If she offends you in any way, dear Imperial uncle, I shall make amends on her behalf to you. Uncle, wait. No. I beseech you, Imperial uncle, not to hold it against her, lest harm come to the Imperial bloodline.
The Imperial bloodline? But what then? This Imperial uncle of ours takes the greatest displeasure in seeing living bearers of the Imperial bloodline, and this king has lost count of how many he has slain. A mere actor's unborn babe, not yet formed, yet it claims the royal blood of my second Imperial nephew. Imperial uncle only last night told the Emperor you were a fine choice, urging him to make you crown prince as an example. And today, all along the way, tales of your romantic escapades. Yan Yang, go tell the Emperor once more. The second prince is mired in private affairs, likely too distracted these next 2 or 3 years to heed the decree of accession. Withdraw it.
Yan Ziyu looked as if struck by a bolt from the blue, his entire body frozen in place. It was the regent prince who urged the emperor to name him crown prince. Yet now the regent prince wants the emperor to rescind that decree.
The Imperial uncle says he craves a beauty.
Note the kingdom. The second prince is the only one with real promise.
Regent Prince, earlier, Yiming said you were off handling official duties, so I thought you wouldn't come.
Support this king, my head aches.
The Regent Prince's ailment hasn't fully healed yet.
Then quickly welcome the regent prince into the manor to rest. Summon the imperial physician. No need. This king will rest a while in the marquis's manor. Fetch Dai for me.
Your Highness, Dai is indeed family to us. He knows that once Mother softens, we can't drive Shang Dai out of the Yong'an Marquis Manor for now. So better let him be the one to keep her here. He is the one sticking his neck out, sparing our parents from offending Yan Beizheng, while getting another chance to trample Shang, Dai, and Yan Ziyue.
If this king recalls correctly, the Marquis of Yong'an and his wife had only one daughter.
My father and mother bore me 3 elder brothers, yet only one daughter me, Shang Dai. She carries my mother's blood, the Yang family line, whose parents and kin all perished, so she has been fostered in our home since childhood, bound to me in sisterly affection. Who would have thought, who would have dreamed, that those who wish to leave, if kept, aren't sincere at heart? Your Highness, might I beg a favor?
This king's head throbs fiercely.
I'll make haste. Cousin Dai, the Regent Prince summons you.
Damn it! Why is Shang Jingshu the one calling me to rise? Is this grace? You're forcing me to trample on my own face.
While burying all that jealousy and venom deep in the shadows.
Sister, do you truly forgive me?
Sister, you've deceived me, exploited me. I can never forgive you. Before your marriage, you had that secret entanglement with Zhou Dao, stirring up a storm across the entire city. The entire Shang family has lost all face because of you. If we still let you remain part of the Shang family, then I'd have no need to ever marry. Don't ever call me sister again. This severs Dai's chance to elevate the Shang family status through a union with the Yong'an Marquis mansion.
An uncle isn't the same as a mother.
Father and my 3 brothers. I suppose the second prince will escort cousin Dai back to her quarters. We should hurry back to the estate. The regent prince doesn't look pleased.
Right. The regent prince, Huaiqing, is asking.
Today, eldest brother fetched little sister back from the regent prince's residence. So little sister was with the regent prince.
But little sister didn't mention it.
Then where were you? Did you see little sister? What exactly happened?
He hurriedly recounted in detail how he had gone to kneel at the regent prince's gates. But as he got to the latter part, he suddenly realized something.
The regent princey, what happened to him?
Yes, eldest brother, what did he do to our little sister? Come on, tell us, don't hold back. Little sister said the regent prince didn't mistreat her. But when the regent prince told me to escort little sister home,
He called me big brother.
no way, that can't be. Eldest brother, you must have misheard. Fine, you are our big brother. You're fine and all. But that man is the renowned regent prince who wields power over the court and the 4 realms.
He'd never call you brother.
Eldest brother, you absolutely mustn't say such things. If it reaches the regent prince's ears, the entire Sheng family will be doomed.
But I heard it clear as day, little Jeaner.
Sheng Chengyi, Sheng Chengxian. Sheng Chenggulu, the names of your 3 brothers, right?
Yes, but why do you ask?
They've been staring at me this whole time. It seems you're not entirely thrilled to have the regent prince as a guest. And just as well, since the regent prince finds them none too pleasing to the eye either. The regent prince was thinking, perhaps you don't want to. Well, shield your brother Huaijin from the regent prince's gaze.
What I mean is, my 3 brothers may not have faces as endearing as Huaijin's, which catches your fancy. They might seem a bit stern at first glance, but they are delighted to have you here. Truly delighted, just as much as I am.
Is that so? Then why are they glaring at the regent prince's attendants?
They admire you greatly. My eldest brother practices martial arts, and you excel in battle. My second brother serves in office, and you are a master strategist. My third brother is in trade, and you possess boundless wisdom. They simply wish to learn a thing or two from you.
In that case, the regent prince might offer them some guidance in the days to come.
That goes without saying. My brothers would be overjoyed.
Regent prince, please. Take the seat of honor. The regent prince is but a guest today, and has no business claiming the host's place. The regent prince will sit right here, if the young lady would kindly assist him over.
Regent Prince, that simply won't do. Your Highness, indeed.
Please, your highness, make yourself at home.
Ever since third brother Chenggulu began trading alongside our father, he's amassed a modest fortune in gold and silver to cover military expenses. Should the regent prince deign to accept it, we would gladly contribute it all to the army's needs. What say you, regent prince? Should you consent, we can tally the exact amount within 3 days and prepare a full inventory.
How much money? 1 million.
Regent Prince Luo Yan has donated 1 million taels of gold.
The military leader Shang Yunjing, who is more than 3 years his junior, At such a tender age, he possesses a private fortune of 1 million tiles in gold. Truly a genius in commerce.
You are a wealthy regent prince. Back in the day, when I took the imperial examinations, with my name on the gold list and a passing officialdom, I resolved to be a pure and incorruptible minister, serving the sovereign above and the people below. The regent prince guards the borders and protects the realm, the very backbone of great prosperity. This minister has long admired the regent prince, and if your highness does not disdain it, she possesses but a modicum of humble talent. So long as it does not violate the sovereign's laws or moral principles, regent prince, should there be any task requiring my service, she stands ready to brave fire and flood.
I would face 1,000 deaths without regret. This is my oath of undying loyalty.
You are a man of deep resolve, regent prince.
I am but a rough fellow, not as clever as my second brother, nor as adept at making money as my third brother. But since childhood, I have trained in martial arts. I may not best 10 or 8 alone, but 3 or 5, I can manage that.
What? Do you truly wish to spar with this prince?
Your highness misunderstands. I know my limits. I am no match for you, regent prince. What I mean is, your highness could take me to the battlefield, where I would gladly serve as your vanguard, charging into the fray to defend great prosperity. Even if I perish there, let my humble remains return to the sacred capital.
I fear nothing. You possess the makings of a great general.
That regent prince uncle. Hey, your uncle, regent prince. Is this Marquis's youngest child?
From a young age, the whole family doted on him and spoiled him rotten.
I dare not let this child continue troubling your highness, the regent, any longer. So, I beseech your highness, the regent.
Yes, the regent prince, to issue your command. The marquis overthinks it. This king does not find the young lady troublesome at all.
Yan Beizheng extended his hand and gestured downward, signaling for Marquis Shang Yunjing and the others to sit.
Marquis.
But Marquis Shang Yunjing and the others stood up once more.
What does the marquis think of this king?
The regent prince excels in civil governance and in martial prowess to pacify the realm, with peerless demeanor, sagacious and brilliant. Even if we devote our entire lives, we can scarcely hope to match his heels.
Today, graced by the regent prince's visit, our young marquisate is illumined by your presence. The marquis speaks wisely.
This is his father-in-law. Praise from the father-in-law is affirmation indeed, and it gladdens his heart.
The marquis errs, as do we all.
The regent prince smiled. Could it be that the regent prince enjoys flattery? In the past, when someone flattered the regent prince dispatched men to sever their tongue. What happened there? Then Shang Yunjing and the others stood up once more to bow. Can we not speak properly anymore? You frightened my parents and siblings. Your highness, please sit. Shang Yunjing plopped down in his chair in fright. Shen was slapped by Zhang first. Why shout like that? Then, with a thud, the uncle knelt to the ground.
How dare you address the regent prince by name? Aren't you ashamed to kneel and confess your son to the regent prince? The regent prince is my son-in-law, and it is my failure in raising her. My daughter is still young, immature and ignorant. Please, your highness the regent, overlook it. I am willing to bear the punishment on her behalf. Yes, please mete out punishment, your highness the regent.
Meng Qiuyu and the 3 brothers also knelt down. Huai Jin and the rest are of faint heart. Wouldn't it be better if you were a bit gentler with them?
Everyone rise. This prince bears a fault for this misstep.
The regent is apologizing to them. The regent is one who knows when to offer an apology, and even admits his own shortcomings. Father, mother, eldest brother, second brother, third brother, the regent bids you rise. So please, stand. He comes today with no such intent.
When I visited the marquis's mansion today, guests need not stand on empty ceremony, for I have already grasped the Shang family's true sincerity. But these are not times of war, and I require no mere foot soldier.
Ye Yue is the regent king,
and the world knows well that I possess 3 legendary swords, Xuanguang, Longyin, and Shishen. This blade is Shuangguang. Shuangguang is a mighty great sword, forged by my maternal grandfather from a chunk of celestial black iron he unearthed in Kengshan in his youth. Today, I bestow Shuangguang upon you, my elder brother. May you hone your martial prowess with it, master the arts of war, and one day let Shuangguang find its home in the heart of Wei.
Longyin slays the traitorous rebels. Shuangguang steadies the 4 realms, and Shishen brings peace to the world. These 3 swords are the dreams of every martial artist under heaven, and now he claims one of them as his own. What is happening? Why would the regent king give the Shuangguang sword to our elder brother? This is utterly unprecedented in our past life. In our past life, after Yan Ziye slandered the Shang family and betrayed the realm to the enemy, our elder brother stood firm at the mansion gates, only to have his own blade shattered by a famed sword in Yan Ziye's grasp, his head severed in an instant. But had Shuangguang been in his hand that day, how could Yan Ziye have possibly broken it?
I spent a full decade on the frontier, erecting defenses across 1,000 leagues for Daxing, impregnable as fortified gold. For the next 15 years, no foolhardy foe will dare breach our borders and threaten Daxing. Thus, third brother, you may proceed without fear. Pursue your ambitions in trade boldly, expanding your waterways and shipping routes, stretching the Shang family's commercial empire from Jiangnan across the seas, or even threading through the northwestern petty states toward distant horizons.
Third young master of the Holy Family, this book is titled The Chronicle of the Eight Waste States, compiled by generations of Shi sect members who traversed the four kingdoms and the world. Never pass to outsiders. It is the legendary Eight Wastes that unites the world.
This chronicle of the Eight Waste States is coveted by the kings of the four kingdoms under heaven, all of whom have racked their brains to obtain it, yet failed. Yet Yan Beizhang has bestowed it upon him to aid his mercantile pursuits.
Second brother serves as an official in the court, and if he seeks to bring welfare to the nation and its people, he cannot succeed on this fervor alone. Though this king has only recently returned to the capital, I have already heard how second brother, with his unyielding temperament, has offended the ministers, and been ostracized by his colleagues due to his harsh words. Even a pure and honest official must follow the proper path. So second brother, you should first seek a master.
Second young master of the Holy Family, this is the token to enter Gigu Mountain, with which, young master, you may ascend the mountain, and apprentice under Master Jiyu. However, Master Gu enforces 3 strict rules. Once he accepts a disciple, even if they fail the outer sect examination, they are forbidden from leaving Gigu Mountain. Back then, the regent king was a direct disciple, who spent half a year there. The prime minister of Yuer, an inner sect disciple, took 50 years, and the regent king's senior brother, also a direct disciple, never left Giga Mountain until his death in old age.
It appears this king's gift has pleased the 3 brothers greatly. Then this king shall take your sister away.
Yan Beizhang suddenly bent down, scooping Shang Zhenshou horizontally into his arms, and prepared to depart.
This is the favor owed to our forebears.
I'll go with you. The regent, in his regency, scorns righteousness itself, deeming Yi unworthy to even serve as his king's vanguard. It may be futile, yet the regent must grasp Yi's intent. A plea to release Yi's sister. Yi's sister is a treasure beyond price. No matter how exquisite the Xuanguang sword, it pales beside her. Even if the regent offers the Xuanguang sword for Yi's sister, Yi will not yield.
Nor will Xin. If one fails to govern with justice, how can the realm remain unconfused?
Or summon the masses. Xin has poured this fervent blood under the star's vast rule,
meeting walls at every turn, yet Xin's original intent remains unchanged.
For Xin is no sage. As an official, Xin harbors 3 parts private heart, and if Xin cannot even shield his own sister, Xin is unworthy, not only to serve as official, but unfit to be human. From the Giga Mountain Gate, brother elevates the regent, thus,
or else blames others for the ascent if the regent were a mere merchant.
Merchants chase profit in gold and silver, yet law harbors ambitions to become the realm's backbone across the 4 seas, all for seeking peace in prosperity, survival in chaos, so family may live well. To sell Law's own sister for some paltry trade route, I'd reek of vulgar copper. A wolf-hearted, dog-launched wretch, that's one thing. But it saddled the regent with the infamy of coercing a virtuous maiden. Law beseeches the regent to consider wisely.
His brothers are the finest in the world.
Why must you insist on this? This king has cast aside all pretense. Do you know that since the age of 9, anyone in this world who refuses to bend to this king's will meets a most miserable end? The person this king wishes to take away, you dare to stand in the way. Are you not afraid this king will sever your heads?
Regent King, we 3 brothers are indeed overreaching ourselves. Yet we intend to bar your path all the same.
So long as we brothers draw breath, the regent king shall never take our sister away. Not unless you trample over our corpses to do so. The imperial house may pale beside the regent king's sway over court and realm, beside his might that quakes the 9 provinces, and his renown that fills the world. Yet gods tread the divine path, spirits the ghostly way, merchants the path of trade 10s of thousands strong, if not a full myriad. There will always be path the regent king cannot foresee, and people he cannot guard against. Even should the regent king lose his senses and ravage our family sister, before our merchant house falls to ruin, we still possess the power to shatter the regent king's face.
What does it have to do with my wife? If the regent prince grants me the grace to live, I shall live on to tend my wife, and let my children collect her body, burying them all in the marquee mansion, sealing the gates to guard their tomb for the rest of my days. This prince fears trouble above all, and dislikes crowds, yet my imperial father loved grand banquets. When I was but a child, my father would carry me in his arms to those feasts. He'd say crowds bring such lively cheer, so he'd summon all my elder brothers and sisters to join. But with so many gathered, schemes multiply. In the 10 banquets I attended at my father's side, I faced 10 deadly traps. This prince despises such multitudes, so I devised ways to eliminate a few. Indeed, a measure of peace followed. The world whispers that this prince slew his own siblings, bloodthirsty by nature, and all of it is true. Look now at this grand execution. Save for the emperor upon his throne, all those who earned this prince's disdain have vanished without a trace, have they not?
Regent Prince, my parents and brothers harbor no intent to oppose you. I beg you to spare them. If it is me you desire, I shall return to your mansion at once. Do with me as you will. Lock me away in the Regent Prince's mansion for the rest of my days, if it pleases you.
Uncle, little sister, young mister.
You finally reached your limit. To hold back this long, little Jing'er, you are truly exceptional. Yet, little Jing'er, do you know why this prince has come today? To claim the lives of your parents and brothers.
Huijin, I admit it. I fear you. You've hurt me. And I fear you'll hurt my family too. Huijin, I too fear you might harm yourself. I promised I would stay by your side, and I have not gone back on my word. Being angry won't help. Getting angry harms both others and yourself. Don't be angry. Shen Jingshu hurriedly pressed her lips to her man's mouth. He froze for a moment, and in the next instant, that icy, bloodthirsty intent melted away completely. Shen Jingshu let out a small sigh of relief. He turned back to Sheng Chengyi and Sheng Chengxing, Sheng Chengguo, and said, Big brother, second brother, third brother, why are you still on your knees? Get up quickly, my lord. He was just teasing your brothers. You don't know, but I'm one of the prince's closest confidants. The prince treats his inner circle exceptionally well. If he truly meant to kill you, I'd be heartbroken, and he couldn't bear to see me suffer. My lord.
Isn't that right? True treasures are rare enough, but bonds of loyalty and affection are even rarer. Rise, all of you, Regent Prince.
Then I'll just be your little sister.
Miss, as I said, I despise crowds, especially crowds that dare to defy me.
Dear sister, don't overthink it. My parents and brothers aren't trying to defy you. They simply dote on me too much. Hush now.
Xiaojie, the more you chatter, the more likely you'll slip up. For the sake of your explanations, which barely satisfy me, I'll trust you one more time. Marquis Yong'an, though, I loathe crowds. Those who treat my Xiaojie well are another matter. I'll accept them. Marquis Yong'an, I intend to become your son-in-law. Do you have any objections? What? What? Even if you object, it changes nothing, for I am not here to negotiate. Marquis Yong'an, your daughter, Sheng Jianshu, is exceptional. In all these years, she is the only one who has caught my eye. The one I desire. You must marry her off willing or not. Refusal is not an option. She was already within my estate, and I had no intention of returning her to you. Yet though I care little for conventions, I would not have others dispatch envoys to slander you as. So let it be thus from this day forward. Xiao Jing'er shall stand in as a proxy bride in the Shang household. My visit today serves as our first familial acknowledgement. And once I return to my residence, I shall prepare the betrothal gifts and send them over. Once the Imperial Astronomical Bureau selects an auspicious date for the grand wedding, I shall consult with you all on the wedding arrangements.
Thus, the Regent Prince's lavish gifts serve both to test whether my 3 brothers are worthy to receive them, and as the Regent Prince's token of kinship.
Second brother, you may see it that way. Eldest brother, third brother, rise.
Father, mother, my 3 brothers, I know this matter comes upon you quite suddenly, without prior consultation on my part. And to settle the matter, it is mine, isn't it? However, you all know my temperament. If I were unwilling, I'd turn heaven and earth upside down. The regent is just a bit cold in temperament. He doesn't deign to explain himself to others. That is why outsiders spread such ill rumors about him. Yet though he commands mighty armies, he wields no iron fist. Renowned across the 4 realms, not solely for his martial prowess, praised throughout the land, yet never arrogant, compared to those who accomplish but a token good deed, and crave to be exalted as deities by all. W resort to vile schemes, to claw their way to the heights of power, outwardly refined, yet scoundrels through and through. harboring ruthless hypocrisy deep within. Isn't he far superior in every way? Big Brother spoke of the vow to serve the sovereign and safeguard the realm, to die wrapped in horsehide on the battlefield. Big Brother is now 23, standing amid the splendor of the capital's imperial city, gazing toward the distant frontiers. On all sides, his heroic spirit burns eternal yet. When the regent stood scarcely taller than a horse's back, he charged onto the battlefield, growing from a mere boy into a god of war. The feats Big Brother dreamed of, the regent has achieved them all. Third Brother said, in times of prosperity, seek stability. In chaos, mere survival. Why prioritize seeking favor? In times of peace, it is simply because those days of constant dread in our childhood are long past. That year, when the late emperor passed away, the capital and the realm erupted in joyous celebration, seizing the Shang family's wealth. The imperial heirs and noble kin, openly cordial on the surface, yet covertly threatening father, until he was forced to dismantle our very household. The Shang family took no private sides with either faction. Yet still, we could not escape the calamity. They haggled over a mere 1 or 2 chests of so-called betrothal gifts, and sought to reduce me, an innocent girl, to a lowly concubine. Because I come from a merchant family, I'm not even worthy of being a proper concubine. I was fought over by several suitors, baring their fangs and claws within the imperial family, wishing they could carve me up, with each claiming a piece. Fortunately, none of them succeeded in winning me. That year, in everyone's eyes, he was still just a child. The regent, emerging from Ghost Valley Mountain, with iron-fisted resolve suppressing the demonic rebels, ensuring they could never wreak havoc again. He cherished the people, safeguarding them thread by thread, harboring no ambition for power, staunchly supporting the young emperor's ascension, leading troops to quell the external chaos engulfing Daxing. And over the following decade, those days of darkness and ascetic cultivation gradually receded. Thanks to Second Brother's guardianship of the imperial family, our era of prosperity slowly dawned for us all. Third Brother, as you said, if a family fails to protect its own, how can it protect the myriad people? If that chaos had lingered even a moment longer back then, the Shang family would have ceased to exist long ago. They say the regent saved our Shang family, protected the capital and the imperial city. How could we not repay that? In these 10 years, peace has reigned both within and without. As he shielded the countless souls of Daxing, in the past, relying on your indulgence, I developed a spoiled and reckless temperament, blinded by the illusory glamour before my eyes. Falling for the second prince, that fleshy but insubstantial hypocrite. It was only after being wounded by betrayal and exploitation that I awoke, realizing what I truly needed to do, and what my heart truly desired. The regent is truly wonderful. He guards the realm, he guards the people, and he guards me too, even though I'm no longer the pampered lady of a noble house, lacking in refined grace. He doesn't mind that I'm unlettered and ignorant, unversed in poetry, classics, or rites. Doesn't disdain my plain appearance, nor that I'm no stunning beauty. He wants to marry me, and I want to marry him. Please grant us your blessing, my parents and 3 brothers.
Jinra's wonderful. I wish to marry her. Loyal to her alone till death do us part. Please, my future father and mother-in-law eldest brother, second and third brothers, grant us your blessing. Very well, very well. I consent to your marriage. That is excellent.
Uncle, come over here to me.
Shang Jingshu glanced at Yan Beicheng. This glance delighted him. At last, he understands that she belongs to him first and foremost. From now on, everything she does must be reported to him.
Go on, Mother. You haven't been home in days. I thought you'd forgotten all about your poor mother. Never mind. You've been spoiled rotten by us. That is all. As long as you know to come back, that is enough. Now that you're about to marry into the regent's household, you can't just follow your whims like before. You must learn to be particular about your food, clothing, and daily affairs. Look at that hairstyle you've got today. So messy.
I did Jinra's hair myself. What do you think, mother-in-law? Not bad, eh?
Indeed.
Of course, he even forgot to ask Yan Beizheng why she appeared before the emperor with her hair in disarray. All right, mother, father, eldest brother, second brother, third brother, we've put the past behind us. No need to bring it up again. Whether I'm managing the household here at home or entering the regent's mansion, I'll always be your daughter, your little sister. Our family has all the time in the world, but the regent has come today, and he is unfamiliar with the estate. I'd like to show her around and have her stay for dinner, if that is all right.
Madam, please go to the kitchen and give instructions. All right, all right.
I'll go right away. Just wait a moment.
Who struck him, your highness?
I'm fine. He was carefully hiding this side of his face just now, but when he reached mother's side...
I forgot for a moment. This prince is asking who hit him.
Xiao Yunjing's body stiffened as she felt her palms burning hot.
It was me.
Huaijie, this was just an accident. But I cherish you so much right now. Can't you hold back your anger? The moment you get angry, I feel even more wronged. I'll head back to my courtyard first. Come with me. I have medicine for wounds in my room. Will you help me apply it? This man has such intense possessiveness. No one else is allowed to touch what belongs to him. He realized his own face must be one of Yan Beizheng's possessions too. That is why he is so furious. In the next instant, Yan Beizheng bent down, scooped him up, and strode out of the hall, heading toward Xiang Yunjing's courtyard. Yan Beizheng knelt before him, gently applying ointment to his face.
What you injured this prince's possession? This prince hasn't even taken it out on you yet, and you're already giving this prince the cold shoulder.
Where did I ever hurt your possessions?
You are this prince's face, this prince's eyes, this prince's nose, the mouth this prince's as well.
You and I are a true married couple, in every sense. So naturally, I belong to you. But you, so narrow-minded.
This prince's narrow mind is all for your sake. Little Jin, this prince won't allow anyone to harm his possessions, or touch them. Every layer of skin on your body, every drop of blood, every single bone. This prince will guard them all with utmost care. If there is any more harm done, this prince will not let it slide as easily as today.
Then he fiercely claimed his lips, until the suffocating sensation overwhelmed him, leaving him on the verge of passing out. Yan Beizheng noticed his distress, and immediately released him, allowing desperate gasps of air to escape.
Fool, remember, this is the first time, and it will be the last if it happens again. No matter who it is, this prince will execute them without mercy. Rest well. Once this prince has prepared the betrothal gifts, I'll come see you again.
And Beizheng was already standing in the Shang family's garden. You had come over and bow respectfully.
Speak. Who did it? Was it the princess consort's father, the Marquis of Yongyan?
Ye recounted the entire incident she had investigated, in meticulous detail.
Tomorrow at the Grand Court Assembly, have the Emperor invite the Marquis of Yong'an to dine. Serve river shrimp at the noon banquet, and river frog tadpoles at the evening one, and teach my father-in-law just how treacherous the night road can be.
The Marquis of Yong'an is allergic to river shrimp and river frog tadpoles. That is something he uncovered himself.
Your Highness, but you left with a princess consort, which means you must have promised her you'd let this go. You're planning to bring the princess consort back to the estate, so wouldn't this be a bit harsh on the Marquis of Yong'an?
I did indeed promise the princess consort. Ye, what do you think I've done? It was the emperor who invited my father-in-law to feast on river shrimp and tadpoles. And it is the emperor who will teach him the perils of the night road.
Otherwise, if I stepped in myself, they'd still see me as that. Bloodthirsty, chilling master of old. No. My master should be the one who strategizes from the shadows, commanding the rivers and mountains, scorning the world from on high. How could he stoop to petty tricks like these?
Then you do it, be clever about it. No broken bones, no traces left behind. Aim for the face.
He strode away, elegant as ever.
Yeah, that is our deathly king. Life's too precious for this. Better have Yeming handle it instead.
Perhaps it is the comfort of being back in a familiar home. But these past few days, Shang Jingshu has been sleeping soundly. Yet on this night, before drifting off, he couldn't shake the feeling that he'd overlooked something crucial. He tossed and turned, unable to sleep. And in the dead of night, a fine drizzle began to fall outside. With a crash, spring thunder boomed. The fine drizzle turned into a torrential downpour in an instant. Shang Jingshu jolted awake, realizing what felt so off. At this very time in her previous life, Yan Beizheng's grip on her had been at its most obsessive, dragging her back to the regent's mansion, tormenting her relentlessly day and night. But one night, he hadn't come at all, so she had quietly slipped out, only to be spotted and dragged back by the mansion guards. She figured that once Yan Beizheng learned of it, he'd unleash a fresh wave of torment on her without delay. Yet, for 3 straight days, it wasn't until later that she discovered Yan Beizheng had run into trouble that very night. Ambushed by assassins, left gravely wounded, and unconscious though, the divine physician He Jiming had been summoned to treat him. He'd still been left with a lingering affliction, one that forbade any outburst of anger, lest excruciating chest pains seize him, forcing him to cough up blood, a curse that would never fully heal. Qiushi, come here! She was determined to save Yan Beizheng.
What is wrong, Miss Qiushi?
Listen to me. I have a matter of utmost urgency. I must go out right away. Fetch me a set of your clothes and an umbrella. Don't alert the others. I don't want anyone to notice.
Miss, You're leaving the residence. It is so late, and the rain outside is coming down in sheets. Can't it wait until tomorrow?
No. Chushi, let me tell you one more thing. From now on, whatever I do, don't ask me why.
The lady calls the shots. Then take care, miss.
All right. If I haven't returned by dawn tomorrow, and anyone asks, just say that at first light. The regent came and took me away, and you know nothing more. Got it? Tianmi, where is Huaji, the princess consort?
Why on earth would the princess consort come here now? Is she rushing here to see the prince? The prince is in the bedchamber. No, princess consort. The prince has urgent military matters to attend today, and he hasn't returned yet.
He remembered the moment the prince collapsed, issuing a deadly strict order. The news of his grave injury must not reach the princess consort. Not even a whisper. Don't hide it from me. I know he is badly wounded. I can save his life. Take me to him now.
Impossible. Princess consort, the society leader, has given strict orders. The prince does not wish to see you.
I know medicine as well. Shang Jingshu uttered these words and strode into the main courtyard. Jianming, how long has that hidden weapon been lodged in him?
Princess consort, the martial prince has that cursed hidden weapon embedded in him. A full hour now, and he has lost so much blood.
I've tried everything, applied all the usual hemostatic powders,
but nothing has worked. If you truly know medicine, princess consort, please hurry and staunch the prince's bleeding first. If this continues, the prince will bleed dry and perish.
Meng Jinsang drew a dagger, thrusting it toward Yan Beizhang's wound.
Sister Shang says, what do you think you're doing?
Don't think a few petty favors can buy my loyalty. Sister Shang says, don't forget, you're already the Lord's man.
The Lord has treated you so well, granting you the position of principal consort. This time, he was ambushed because of you. If you dare to strike at the Lord while he is down,
your hand will be severed in an instant.
He is awake.
Dare to touch Qing'er. If you dare call out, whoa, this prince will end you.
The woman standing at his bedside suddenly leaned down, slipping a small crimson peel into his mouth. That cold, delicate hand, laced with chill intent, still pressed over his lips. Don't swallow it. Don't hold it under your tongue. Sister Huai, I am your wife. You said we'd be together for the rest of our lives. I would never harm you if you entrust your life to his hands. He need only drive another blade into his heart.
Very well. Come and save me. This king will trust you this once. Do not betray that trust. My lord, don't let Jianming doubt it. Kill the princess consort without mercy. It is the master and the princess consort.
The second prince and Sin Temple's flower bribed the Dark Blood Tower with a king's ransom to assassinate you. Once the prince got word, he rushed there, and behind the holy mansion, single-handedly cut down the Dark Blood Tower's 10 deadliest assassins. It was because the Dark Blood Tower's master disguised himself as you, misleading the master and drawing him into the ambush.
In that past life, Yan Beizhang was wounded in just this way. Wounded so gravely. All because the assassin Yan Beizhang disguised himself as me, and you let your guard down. How can you be so foolish? Owing him more and more. How will he ever repay it?
What is gotten into Shang Jinshu?
She told him the truth, to make him kinder to the master. But she went and cursed the master by name, even called him stupid. Who in this world would dare call the master stupid? Yan Beizhang's face darkened too.
Is he starting to despise me?
Does it hurt? He frowned slightly. Yimi, do 3 things right now. First, fetch the night luminous pearls. As many as possible. Make the inner chamber bright as daylight. Second, prepare strong liquor for me. The fiercer, the better. Boil water in the outer hall, using the salt pot, along with Huaiji, our usual Zhengshan tea, and the rootless water from the clouds. Keep it scalding hot. Have it ready whenever I need it. Third, send someone to fetch Jiming at once. I need his aid. In his past life, he was manipulated by Shang Daiyi and Zhou Shuibi, finding the toil of healing and saving lives too burdensome, believing the perils of inheriting the Tianyi lineage too great, content to live leisurely off the Shang family's wealth, only to be deceived by Yanxie as well. He poured his heart into pursuits as futile as chasing men, and until his dying breath never unveiled the heavenly arts passed down from the celestial physician. But in this life, saving Yan Beizhang will be his first step toward wielding those arts to heal and rescue. Huazhi, I must cut out this hidden weapon with a blade. It will be agonizing later. I'll apply some numbing powder for you, along with a sedative to induce deep slumber. Just rest easy. You'll awaken feeling much better.
This king never resorts to Maffei powder, nor will sleeping. Drafts suffice alone.
You must use both. I know your pain threshold is high. Even as I cut into you, you wouldn't shed a single tear. That iron orb is layered with vicious barbs. These barbs piercing deep into your flesh, snagging your arteries and veins. and lying perilously close to your vital organs. Huajie, I harbor no doubt of your resolve, yet the body has its instinctive tremors, and as I extract those barbs, even the slightest quiver could sever an artery or vein, which would cause irreversible damage to your body, and such damage would be lifelong and incurable. Moreover, you've lost too much blood, which means even deep sleep can't replenish your strength. So recovering quickly will be exceedingly difficult. Of course, there's another reason. Sheng Daiyi didn't mention that Yan Beizheng has lost too much blood, and he urgently needs a blood transfusion. But with his Tianjia bloodline, transfusing someone else's blood into him would surely provoke his fierce opposition. So to make it easier for him to accept, I plan to give him my own blood instead. He must never see this.
This king can use the mafizan. Only apply it to the wound. This king won't use a sleeping elixir. That is settled. Good.
This is the elixir my master crafted long ago from centuries-old linger, wild mountain ginseng, and over a dozen other heavenly treasures. A single sip will restore some of your strength. Yan Beizheng sniffed it, then took a small sip. The medicine in this vial was just like the one he tossed into his mouth earlier. The most potent sleeping draught there is. It wasn't long before Yan Beizheng sensed something amiss.
Qing'er, I've lost all respect for you. This king is starting to see through you.
You've lost too much blood. It is just from the weakness. I'm right here. I'll tend to your wounds properly. You're exhausted. Rest now.
Something's off. Sister Sheng said, you're plotting against this king.
You schemed against this king without a single word. And in the end, the man's consciousness slipped into slumber. This marks the first time he has ever bested him across 2 lifetimes. The forebear of the Shura king himself. In this life, the one I chose is you. Don't disappoint me.
Tianyi 13 Blades, you're clearly my martial uncle.
Master Bai Yunyu's elixir is the legacy of Tianyi's direct disciple. By seniority, you must indeed address me as martial uncle.
He Juming, disciple under Tianyi Valley's elixir lineage.
Pays respects to martial uncle Tianyi 13 Blades. Under your guidance, Tianyi Valley shall once more resound across the 4 realms. Martial nephew, Jiming, have you prepared everything I asked for? You'll assist by passing me the blades. Martial uncle's dozens of night luminescent pearls illuminate the inner chamber, revealing even the finest strand of hair with perfect clarity. Our lord has unparalleled insight, uncovering true night pearls. Shengjing this Wang Fei.
He thinks, uncle, I've succeeded.
Don't celebrate too soon. The hidden weapon is poison. It is hastening the blood flow from her chest wound. We've already delayed far too long. Huajin's lost more blood than she can endure. She could perish at any moment. I'll tell you, sis, how to assist. You help me as swiftly as possible. I'll slash open my own veins to transfuse my blood to Huajin. This deed heaven knows, earth knows. Only I and you know Huajin must never learn of it. This is no negotiation. You will obey me.
The princess consort has muddled the royal bloodline. A grave sign, defying the heavens.
You've called me princess consort, so I am the imperial daughter-in-law. What harm in giving my blood to my lord husband? If even a whisper of today's blood transfusion leaks out, Qi Jiming's sect rules demand execution, and Yi Ming's family code seals the same fate.
I'll go prepare the medicine. Does the princess need a short rest before we continue?
No need. No one's noticed, and it was supposed to take much longer for him to wake. Yan Beizheng, driven by sheer force of will, opened his eyes ahead of time, and at once spotted the unusual tube connecting him to Sheng Jingshu. Blood coursed through the tube, flowing from her body into his. Yan Beizheng froze for a moment, a chill of frost creeping across his face. But then, as if struck by a sudden thought, the cold vanished in an instant, traceless. He closed his eyes once more. Just before Sheng Jingshu felt herself slipping into unconsciousness from blood loss, she swiftly pressed down on the wound at her wrist, halting the transfusion to Yan Beizheng. Xie.
Do you have any orders for me? I'll see to it at once.
I've checked on the regent. He is stable, but I'm exhausted. Dawn is breaking soon. I can't linger here any longer. Find 2 trusted men to escort me back to the Yong'an Marquis Manor. If the regent wakes tomorrow and asks for me, tell him I'm waiting for him at the manor. Keep a close watch. Once he is stronger, have him come find me once Yan Beizheng has recovered, and the wound on his wrist has healed properly. The blood transfusion secret will be far less likely to be uncovered.
I understand, Your Highness. Rest easy. Go and recover. I'll handle the cleanup discreetly.
Yimi, you're the one Huajin trusts above all, and he knows you'll handle this without fail. Of course, I'm reassured. Don't forget, some words must be spoken, some must not. As for those unspoken, let not a syllable slip your lips. Why have you come here? The hidden weapon lodged in your chest has only just been removed, yet it requires careful recuperation. You mustn't go rushing about. Avoid drafts at all costs, and certainly no martial exertion, or you'll risk severe after effects. Didn't I instruct Yiming before I left to keep a close watch on you? He Jiming ought to be guarding you as well. Where is he? How could he let you come here alone? With your injury like this, that man shows no concern at all. Sir, did you hear what I said? Shang Jingshu felt a shiver run through her under his intense gaze, and her tone softened at once. Are you feeling unwell yourself? I didn't mean to snap at you. I was just worried about your injury.
I know. Don't worry. I came by sedan chair.
As for any martial exertion, it was the 4 guards including Yiming who handled it, carrying the sedan chair over the courtyard wall in the dead of night. Not to mention their formidable inner strength, and now they're out there freezing in the cold. So why did you come to me?
My chest wound is throbbing fiercely. I couldn't sleep, and I've come to a realization.
She had come specifically to tell him, saying,
As Jiang Shanjinshu leaned in, gesturing for her to lie down and rest. He wouldn't want to sleep beside her, would he? Or perhaps he intends to. What is it you wish to tell me?
Lately, you've been desperate to flee my side. Was it because of Yan Ziye?
No, not entirely because of Yan Ziye. Mainly, it wasn't because of Yan Ziye at all. Huaijie, we are already husband and wife. Regarding the matter with Yan Ziye, could you discuss it with me calmly? Go on. I won't deny that I once pursued Yan Ziye. But that was only because I was deceived. Yan Ziye is a master of deception, masquerading as an elegant young nobleman. How many in Zhangdu's imperial city has he deceived? Men see him as a true gentleman, a royal scion of unmatched benevolence and boundless promise. Women view him as the ideal husband, talented and handsome, a rare find among fine young men. Even now, with his scandalous affair with Shang Daiyi exposed, most still believe he was seduced and ensnared by her, leaving his own virtue unscathed. Huaijie, what I'm trying to say is, I'm just an ordinary person too. Like anyone else, I can be fooled by a dazzling facade. But unlike those still trapped in Yan Ziye's web of lies, I'm luckier. I've pierced through his disguise. I know the man he truly is, and the venom that poisons his heart. Huaijie, I told you, I need to sever ties with Yan Ziye. I'll make it happen. These past days, haven't I been doing just that? I know you can't fully trust me yet, but I'll prove it to you with my actions. Can you wait just a bit longer? Once I've dragged Yan Ziye and Shang Di into hell, step by step, making them wish for death but denied it, you'll see the depth of my hatred for them.
This king is waiting otherwise. You wouldn't be lying here tonight.
Yes, that is why I'm saying that matter isn't the biggest rift between us anymore.
That is for the best. Yan Ziye doesn't even deserve to draw breath, let alone call himself human. Go on.
Huaijie, the chasm between us is too wide. You're the exalted regent prince. Wherever you tread, even the emperor yields to your edge. But me, born to merchants, all these years in the capital's imperial city, forever looked down upon. If branded on the stele with the crime of seducing and fawning over the regent prince, I don't mind being mocked and ridiculed myself, but I don't want to drag my family into this mess. Perhaps in your eyes, my family means nothing.
Of course they don't matter. Clinging to their vast fortunes, they refuse to win hearts or enlist capable minds, shield their own while failing to seize any leverage, squandering gold left and right, yet unable to silence wagging tongues, because they're utterly useless.
Whether they're good or bad, they are all my family. It was my parents who brought me into this world. They raised me, and my brothers were by my side as I grew up. They're here, living their lives just fine. My life has meaning only because of them.
Then I am not the sole purpose of your existence. This king commands. Don't forget. You belong to this king, born as this king's.
Of course you are. In this lifetime of mine, if I live to 80, the first 20 years, my heart belongs to my parents and kin. The next 20, to my children, and the final 40 to my husband. Yet you demand half my life all to yourself. As if that is the utmost priority. Isn't that enough?
Of course not what are family and children to him. Anyway.
He wants all of you, wholly and completely, belonging to him alone. I am a person forged by my ancestors, not some mere appendage of yours. Every person has roots, bones, emotions of every kind, and the need for choices and freedoms of their own. But you seek only to control me, forcing your choices and whims upon me. If I dare not comply, or show even the slightest unwillingness, you treat me like one of your subordinates to be drilled with cold, threatening, terrifying methods, until I submit utterly to you.
You are this king's woman. Obeying this king is your duty. Sister Shang says your choices and freedoms means seizing the moment when this king is away from the imperial capital to foolishly chase after Yan Ziye. Sister says, do you really think That saving this king once entitles you to act with impunity before him.
How have I acted with impunity? I only wanted to speak with you calmly, but you flew into a rage out of nowhere again. And how exactly? Am I the foolish one? Even if I once had feelings for Yan Ziyan, it was merely a fleeting affection for someone long ago. What is so wrong with liking someone? He simply fell for another. If that affection was misplaced, he felt aggrieved and heartbroken too, and he paid an excruciating price for it. But what fault lies in the act of liking itself? Moreover, Yan Beizheng, why do you desire me at all? What version of me do you crave? When stripped of thoughts and soul, then why not seek a dog that yields to your every whim? Yan Beizheng fixed Sheng Jingshu with a deathly stare, his face unnaturally pale.
You truly harbor deep feelings for Yan Ziyuan. You dare speak to this king this way, all for Yan Ziyuan.
Shang Jingshu, has this king been too lenient with you?
Get out! Shang Jingshu felt a throbbing, dizzy pain in her head, a bitter taste surging up her throat, which she forced back down. You have no intention of talking this through properly, nor do I wish to argue. Your wounds can't take the agitation. It pains me to see you suffer.
Your elder sister always says you're bold as a marquis, and today you're defying this king outright.
What more do you want from me? You promised me you'd spare my father, but the moment you turned away, you made the emperor turn against him and had him beaten black and blue. I came to save you only because I didn't want you to get away. Yet you accuse me of taking advantage of this trivial matter to act without restraint toward you. Your Highness, the Regent Prince, is there anyone in this world who would dare act without restraint toward you? You think I shouldn't fear you, that I should draw close to you, admire you, and make you my entire world. But you could erupt at any moment, at any time, closing in on me with murderous intent at any time, like a predator ready to seize me and tear me apart in its jaws. How could you expect me not to fear you? I fear you, yet I can't let it show, lest you detect even the slightest hint, and fly into an even greater, thunderous rage, devouring me alive. You think me foolish? Yes, I am foolish. Foolish enough to believe that if I just treated you well, you would see me as a person, rather than something to vent your anger on. I don't even want to see you anymore. As the last word fell, Shang Jingshu could no longer hold back and spat out a mouthful of blood. Meanwhile, Jingyan, Yuan Beizhang remained icy and bloodthirsty as ever, yet now brimmed with anxiety, concern, and tenderness. These two emotions conflicting within him. I'm fine, just ill, a bit weak. It is late. I should head back. He hesitated, anger still flickering across his face, yet worried for Shang Jingshu's condition. Recalling He Jiaming's words that Shang Jingshu's medical skills were no less than his own, he finally withdrew his hand.
Come spring, this king will personally visit the Yong'an Marquis mansion to propose betrothal.
He tossed out a somewhat cold and harsh remark before Yan Beizhang finally departed.
Miss, my young lady fears pain the most.
Yet he slashed his own wrist and shed so much blood for you. Yan Beizhang's steps faltered for a moment. Tonight, he had actually come to confide in him that he had realized something crucial. In recent times, she had always wanted to flee from his side, and he once believed it was all because of Yan Ziyan. But now he knew it was partly his own fault as well. His temperament was too cold, and he didn't know how to interact with women. Yet his desire for her heart was genuine, and in this lifetime, he wanted only her. So, he wanted to seek his advice on how to make her willingly entrust her body and soul to him, this being the first time in his life he had ever asked for help.
My lord, this king's longevity remains intact.
Weba, once we return to the mansion, summon He Jiaming at once to tend to this king's wounds.
He still worried about his wounds, fearing he might be in pain, which proved he still held her in his heart. Perhaps it was the way he led her that was flawed. He pondered once more. Yan Beizheng read the letter through 3 times, word for word.
He sent this king an intimate nightgown, and expects this king to go apologize to him. What nerve!
Yiming broke out in a cold sweat. Is there anyone in this world bold enough to demand an apology from the master? Though the master is profoundly learned with a scholar's vast repository of knowledge spanning ancient and modern times, does he even recognize the words for apology? Just for this shabby nightgown, he expects the master to apologize. Impossible. Besides, was this garment even made for the masters? We'll need to examine it closely, Yiming thought to himself, already envisioning scenes from countless forbidden scrolls of torment under Yan Beizheng's hand, teetering between life and death.
Jiner, are you truly going to disappoint this king in the end?
Yan Ziyan froze the waist, the shoulders, sleeves, robe length, all perfectly tailored, as if Chu had mentioned taking a measuring tape, specially measuring his proportions before sewing it.
Now prepare a white ensemble for this king. Several sets. In fact, this king will come select them shortly.
She wants to don her most exquisite gown tonight, to share moonlit wine and Qing melodies amid the blossoms with her dear little Jin.
It is President Wang Huaijin.
You're here, Huaijin. It is chilly outside. Come in quickly.
You know that, yet you linger outside. The gift you sent this king is most pleased.
The man reached out and gently clasped her wrist.
Chu said you, to make this intimate nightgown for me. Pricked your finger for this king.
Just a trifling matter, no real harm done. It is merely my own lack of skill. I can't manage fine needlework. Yet even a simple seam left me sorely injured.
Even so, don't trouble yourself with such things in the future.
If my young lady doesn't make this nightgown, who would the regent have make it instead? Besides, who is this Miss Chu who sent the regent a nightgown?
Don't listen to those other girls talking nonsense. They said she was tired and should go rest downstairs.
Miss, I'm not making this up. Look for yourself inside. Here is that very nightgown. And they even said they'd bring it over to compare the needlework with yours.
Qiushi, are you joking with me? Packing a nightgown in such an ornate and ostentatious box. Her beloved must be eager for everyone to know about it. Making intimate garments for a man like that.
The nightgown in this brocade box was sent by Zhou Shuibi to the regent himself.
This can't be Shuibi. She is my best friend. She knows all about what's between us. And just the other day, she told me she has someone she admires, a refined and scholarly gentleman, just like my second brother. So I was planning, once things settle down a bit, to ask my brother's opinion on it. So Huaijin, you're hardly the refined and elegant type, but the admirer she described doesn't resemble you in the slightest.
So it was him all along. Miss, look at the sleeping robe in this box. It is made from red cloud brocade. No less. That red cloud brocade, even you yourself couldn't bear to use it. Yet when she came asking, you gave it to her just like that.
Who would have thought she'd actually use that genuine red cloud brocade for something like this? But how could Shuibi stoop so low?
How could it not be possible? Miss, you're just too kind-hearted. If others show you a bit of kindness, you repay them twofold, without a thought to whether their heart is true or false. I simply can't hold back from speaking my mind, even if, Miss, you feel today that I'm sowing discord between you and 7th Miss Zhou. I must still speak up. Ever since 7th Miss Zhou became your close friend, the fine treasures she is taken from you, I couldn't even begin to count them all. When she wanted money, you sent her gold. Money notes too, when she fancied your ornate headdress. You parted with it in pain and gave it to her. She claimed you didn't appreciate it. And just like that, you handed over Master Xue's freshly arrived painting. She complained the tea at the minister's mansion was too coarse. So you entertained her with Xixiang Xuelu. She drank her fill and took the rest home. And now the entire minister's mansion drinks nothing but Xixiang Xuelu. You've become their tea supplier, miss. I've also noticed that whenever you take a liking to something, 7th Miss Zhou will go to any lengths to claim it from you. Your soft heart can't bear to refuse her, so she only grows more brazen, wanting everything in sight. The only thing she never asked for before was probably just the second prince. I even saw that, at least with him, she had at least a shred of conscience. But now it seems she might have long spotted the shady dealings between Miss Dai and the second prince, and felt she couldn't compete with Miss Dai. Just a few days ago, when she came demanding things from you, miss, I was absolutely furious. She demanded jewelry, worth a fortune in dowry, and all those bolts of fine silk, insisting on red fabric no less. Ordinary folk don't bother with such extravagance for weddings. Who goes to the trouble of preparing red fabric like that? You refused at first, miss, but she kept pressing you to scrape together more, and with no other choice, you ended up giving her the last half bolt of red cloud brocade. Who would have thought she was such a fraud all along, spotting you making that intimate gown from red cloud brocade for the regent? She beat you to it, crafting an exact copy to gift him first. She is utterly shameless, despicable, and vile worse even than Miss Dai.
So she is just like that, after all. And my greatest flaw, Shang Jinshu's, is failing to see through people's hearts. Very well. Quick, Shushi, return the gifts at once. The regent arrives tonight. It seems he intends for me and Zhou Shuibi to share his palace favors. Then spare the comparisons, my clumsy stitches, Shang Jinshu's. Can't hold a candle to the Minister of Revenue's daughter. Since the regent has accepted 7th Miss Zhou's embroidered palace gown as a gift, surely the one I made won't catch his eye either. So please, ask the regent to return that brocade robe to me. I hail from a merchant family. My father's title was merely purchased with coin. Nothing like the lofty gates of the Minister of Revenue's estate. And besides, I refuse to share the regent's bed with my former handkerchief sister, forcing me to stomach 7th Miss Zhou. The betrothal between the regent and me ends here. I'm unwell and need to rest. Regent, please take your leave. Please ask the regent prince to convey to Miss Zhou the 7th upon his return. that Sheng Jingshu harbors affections for him, and henceforth the Yang'an Marquis Mansion will not welcome his visits.
Your Highness the Regent, if General Yiming wishes to invite Tushi, once she grows legs, she can walk there herself.
Come in and help me undress. My hands ache. Yan Beizhang shot Yiming a meaningful glance, and Yiming, suddenly enlightened, delivered a swift hand chop to render Qiushi unconscious. As long as he got her inside, he had already succeeded more than halfway. Fortunately, Yan Beizhang did not keep him waiting long. Qiushi, you need not try to dissuade me from anything. I know all too well how much of a failure I am. She deliberately treated Yan Beizhang as if he were Qiushi herself, hoping he would voice his objection. Yet the man unexpectedly knelt down before the bed and began to help her remove her embroidered shoes and stockings,
feigning as if he had not noticed it was her.
Once he had just finished helping her remove them, he smoothly rolled onto the bed beside her. What on earth is Yan Beizhang doing? Undressing her, surely that went too far, and would only provoke his anger. Was he resorting once more to his extreme and twisted methods to confine her to the bed, and mete out punishment while her wounds had yet to heal? Lifting her gaze, she saw Yan Beizhang clad only in a single undergarment, about to climb into bed. It was the very undergarment he had made for her.
The young lady said, "If this prince desired your heart, would it be as shallow as an ordinary man pursuing a woman merely for her new attire, chasing after fleeting dreams in such a manner?"
Yan Beizhang mounted the bed and lay down without a word.
Before returning to the capital, this prince had no experience in dealing with women, nor did I know how to pursue the woman I truly desired. Yet this prince realized that it all began that day, when I suddenly brought you from the streets to the regent's mansion, which sowed the seeds of all those misunderstandings you harbor toward me. This prince entangles your body. It tangles your heart as well. This prince never repeats his words, for once spoken, this prince will make them come true. Lady Shang said, "Listen well. This prince does not find you lowly or base, nor lesser than the nobles of great houses. In this prince's eyes, save for my late mother, in all the world no other soul matters. This prince is your exquisite realm, the one for your lifetime, never to abandon you in life or death, never to part till our hair turns white. There would be no Zhou Shuibi today. That brocade robe was sent by her own hand, and this prince allowed her approach only because she knew you well, hoping to learn more of you from her lips. Thus I tacitly permitted her entry to the manor. What manner of person she is, this prince knows not. You must not accept the sleeping robe she made. That robe has been left outside for you to deal with. What you must do is draw close to this prince, trust in this prince, and rely upon it. Today is the first time this prince has heard such parting words from your lips about us. And from this moment until the day this prince draws his last breath, I never wish to hear even half a word of you leaving this prince again."
So it turns out he permitted Zhou Shuibi to draw near, all for his sake, for me.
"Jiner," He Jiming said, "one should adorn oneself for the one who delights them. I truly adore the garment you made. I wore it on purpose, just to see Nico's delight."
I think the collar on this romantic dress is a tad too low, don't you? Her gaze dropped to the man's slightly parted collar, that patch of fair, flawless skin. She suddenly felt her face flush with heat. Wasn't the frontier supposed to be bitterly cold? How could the Shore King be so fair and strikingly handsome, like hibiscus kissed by morning dew? You misunderstood last time, thinking I still had lingering ties with Yan Ziyi, and this time, dragging Zhou Shuibi's affections right to my doors. What nonsense, it is infuriating. I thought you weren't like that king at all.
Last time, they were the ones this king meant to deal with.
Apologizing. That is simply not going to happen. He is not one for that habit, but he can own up to his mistakes. He has that much magnanimity, at least.
But if it is for your sake, this king wouldn't deign to compare himself with the likes of them. Do you know, all these years, you alone are the one this king cannot fully command. Jing'er, you are my dagger, and also my Achilles' heel.
The exalted regent king, the Shura god of war. He too harbors a vulnerability, and that vulnerability is her. You cherish that joy, the kind that blooms between man and woman. But why? Have we perhaps met in some other life?
You'll come to know this in due time. But as you yourself said, the heart is the most untamable force. So if this king finds delight in you, does it truly need a reason? Your restraint belongs to this king alone. Even if your heart wanders, it remains this king's. Sooner or later, it will all return to me.
He had begun to see things more clearly. It was he who had returned too late, allowing Zhang Yanzai to slip through the cracks, and spawn those troublesome side affairs. But in this misstep, he could afford to grant him a little more time. Let him gradually get used to him. Accept him, depend on him, then draw close to him, and in your eyes and heart, only he for the rest of your life.
Your needlework is exquisite, but cast aside anything that brings you pain. Have you decided on the style of your bridal gown?
Tell this king, and this king shall sew it for you.
Yan Zhang says he'll sew the wedding attire himself. He even knows needlework. I must be overthinking it. Yan Beizhang's hands that command the realm and conquer battlefields. How could they ever wield an embroidery needle to craft garments? He must mean he'll arrange for someone to sew it. Huaijin, it is getting late. You, tonight.
This king says no to that tonight.
You and I are not yet wed. What would it look like if you slept here with me? If my father, mother, and brothers found out, how could I ever face them again? Say it was glimpsed by others, by chance and word spreads.
Then this king will produce the imperial seal and let them see it plainly, so they'll know full well you've long been Yan Beizhang's. At tomorrow's spring banquet, those few will surely stir trouble once more. Do you plan to deal with them yourself? This king won't interfere. But remember this clearly. Don't let yourself come to any harm. Remember, every inch of you belongs to this king. Even the slightest scratch, this king will not forgive lightly. Right, this king won't tease you tonight. Rest well and steel yourself for the fight.
With those words, he closed his eyes. In truth, he is truly wonderful. Why did I never see it in my past life? Stop! Qiushi trembled in fright, subconsciously halting in her tracks.
Jer was utterly worn out from last night. Be careful, don't make the slightest sound to wake him. Wait until he is fully rested. Then we'll help him freshen up.
Heading to the spring banquet. The first chapter signifies the holy scriptures, always tensing up to avoid disturbing him, wondering what he might have done to her, to the point that after several hours she couldn't hold out and fell asleep from sheer exhaustion. But those words took on a different meaning in the ears of Qiushi and Yiming. It sounded entirely twisted.
What cruel thing has this ruthless Shura King done to our young lady this time? Poor young lady.
The young master's prowess is truly extraordinary. Even after such a grave injury to the heart, he can still be so formidable.
Thus, Yiming, filled with admiration and awe for Yan Beizhang, respectfully escorted him into the sedan chair. Where is that undergarment sewn for Zhou Shubi?
General Yiming gave it to me. I left it on the table outside. Young lady, you scared me half to death last night. I was so afraid I'd botch the act and ruin your plan.
You did splendidly. You can do even better next time. Just go fetch Mu Yun to the room. It is time we start settling the score with Zhou Shubi, beginning today.
Young lady, on your knees, miss. What have I done wrong? What do you think? Miss, this servant doesn't know where she fell short.
At least you still remember you're my maid. I thought you were eager to join Zhao Yun in her fate.
This servant knows her mistake. It was just because you deliberately humiliated and bullied this servant earlier, out of spite in your heart.
You slighted me and ignored my concerns. Shouji, if I haven't misremembered, among all the maids by my side, you and Zhou Shubi are the closest of kin. Every time she comes here, it is always you scurrying about to serve her.
See how Miss Zhou the Seventh deigns to favor this lowly servant, praising her for being so clever and quick-witted.
She is indeed clever and quick-witted, cleverly deceiving me for all these years, spinning me round in circles, all while taking countless favors from me. Truly cunning indeed. Cunning enough to fashion intimate undergarments from the red silk I made, to seduce the very man I'm betrothed to. You cherish her like family. Then you shall destroy it with your own hands. Tear apart that garment of shattered affections she made and hand the scraps back to her. Since I've rapped upon the table, I'm giving you the time it takes to steep a cup of tea. If even a palm-sized scrap of that cloth remains in my sight, I'll ship you off to the Shangshu mansion along with that wench Zhou Shuibi. You adore Zhou Shuibi so much. Surely you'd relish serving as her maid in the Shangshu mansion, wouldn't you? Mo Yu panicked in an instant. She did dream of serving Zhou Shuibi as a maid, but only after Zhou Shuibi had risen to become a noble lady in the regent's palace. In the Shangshu mansion, Zhou Shuibi lives in trembling fear every single day. Going there now would be nothing short of suicide, wouldn't it?
Miss, this servant is innocent. How could I wish to serve in the Shangshu mansion when I'm perfectly content as a maid in the palace? Miss ordered this servant to gather the clothes, and I'll do so right away. Miss, this bond of affection is severed.
At today's spring banquet, Miss Zhou will surely attend as well. So go wait at the gates of the minister's mansion for her return. Then, on my behalf, deliver this message to her. If she dares poach the man at my side, let her try her luck. But as for his kindness toward me, I have received it in full, and should the chance arise, I shall repay him twofold. As in the ancient rite of severing robes to end brotherhood, today I tear my garments to sever ties with him forever. From this day forth, Zhou Jingren and his kin shall never set foot in Yong'an Marquis Mansion again, nor shall they extract even a shred of favor from my ledgers. As for the debts from years past, the gold and banknotes that Miss Zhou Qi helped the minister's mansion borrow from me, once I review the accounts, I shall personally call upon the minister's mansion to collect.
Miss, this servant cannot undertake such a task. Please, miss, send someone else. This servant is utterly loyal to you. I had no idea Miss Zhou, she would stoop to stealing your man and commit the same betrayal as Miss Dai. It was only because you were close to Miss Zhou Qi that this servant ever grew close to her. If it displeases you, I swear, I never speak to Miss Zhou Qi again.
Why the panic? She slipped the pearl bracelet from my wrist as a gift to you, handed you the gold hairpin from Shangjie Jewelers, and bestowed upon you the jade bangle from Skuri, plus stacks of banknotes. She even promised that once she rises to power and glory, she'll elevate you to mistress as well. She has been so generous to you. Seeing her should fill you with nothing but joy. So why the panic and fear? Absolute loyalty. Sister Shangshou knows full well she was bought off by Miss Zhou Qi. That Miss Zhou Qi planted her as a spy in Jinyuan and the Yong'an Marquis mansion, and knows of her betrayal and greed. Sister Shangshou did it deliberately.
Lady Shi, miss, this servant was wrong. This servant lost her senses, helping Miss Zhou Qi spy for information and taking some rewards from Miss Zhou Qi in return. But this servant's heart has always been loyal to you. Miss, please don't misunderstand this servant. This servant never meant to.
Then go on getting close to her and deliver these gifts to her. For an unrepentant enemy like this, I have no patience for endless excuses. So if that is what you want to do, I'll make it happen for you. Aren't you grateful? Don't forget, you signed a death contract with the Yong'an Marquis mansion, a lifelong bond. So if you truly refuse to serve this lady, it is simple enough. This lady is merciful and wouldn't stoop to cold-blooded murder, but to sell you off for a higher price. I won't be picky about the destination. Why don't you choose? Would you rather serve as a maid in a brothel, or become a concubine to a palace eunuch? Or be paired in a ghost marriage with a child who died young?
Or perhaps deliver mourning clothes as a lowly errand girl?
That is more like it. As I said, absolute loyalty to this lady means I hold your life in my hands. If I say live, you live. If I say die, then die you shall. If you can't even manage this final act of loyalty, then this lady will have no choice but to make your life a living hell. So why linger, waiting for me to pick your fate for you? Miu Yu snatched the brocade box and bolted out the door. He fled in a frantic rush, his face etched with terror.
Sister, these past few days, I've been reflecting deeply on my actions. I cannot forgive myself. It was my selfishness that drove me to hurt you, sister. I am consumed by shame and remorse. Please forgive me, sister.
Tianye, why are you kneeling? You're carrying a child. Rise and speak properly to your sister.
Yes. Jago has no intention of using this wretch to wed at the spring banquet. She'd never kneel to such a lowly thing. Soon enough, once today passes, she'll ascend as the lofty second princess consort. And watch how she crushes this wretch, venting every ounce of hatred in her heart. Shang Daiyi continued in her soft, feeble voice.
Sister understands the burdens of my pregnancy and is willing to forgive my transgressions. I am truly moved. I knew you were ever tolerant and kind-hearted, sister.
Understanding your hardships with child, that is my mother's compassion. As for me, you claim you cannot even forgive yourself. So from where do you glean that I should forgive you? Shang Daiyi, in this world, every misdeed demands its due price. You have yet to pay yours, so by what right should I absolve you? You deem me tolerant and kind, but alas, the tolerant and kind soul I once was has been mercilessly slain by your hand. Jie, will you truly show me no mercy?
It is you who keeps staging these performances before me.
Time and again. Do you not think I see through it all? Why not speak plainly instead? The true reason for your visit today, my dear sister.
No, that is not it. Very well, I accept your apology.
But forgiveness. Keep your deceptions elsewhere. Miss Dai, speak to your husband and sister, please. What is this you're doing?
Dai, I came today hoping we'd attend the spring banquet together.
He has already prepared everything. He has already packed up. Why must you be so aggressive?
You want me to take her to the spring banquet, and you've deliberately dressed her up so elegantly, haven't you? Then why not just admit she is relying on the bastard in her belly to force me to bring her along? That would be honest enough. So why put on this act of sisterly affection? Miss Dai does look exquisitely beautiful today. Look at that skirt she is wearing, made of soft luo silk, isn't it? This bolt of iridescent soft luo silk, I toiled sleeplessly the year before last, overseeing the craftsman day and night, for 3 full days and nights to create it, and presented it to mother as a gift. Even at home, I could only bear to fashion a few hair ribbons from the scraps for myself. Yet Miss Dai wears it so stunningly, doesn't she? No wonder the second prince has turned his affections to her, eager to wed her as his consort. And these earrings, they're made from the azure water pearls. Third brother personally dove into the sea to retrieve, aren't they? Third brother said they were for my dowry, and mother promised to keep them safe for me until my wedding day. then have them crafted into earrings to adorn me on that day. As for that jade, I remember, it was a gift from second brother just last year. When Miss Dai took a fancy to it, I didn't want to part with it. But you whimpered so pitifully before mother that she took it from me and handed it over to you. Moreover, at first, Meng Qiuyu interrupted Shang Jingshu's words, a flash of embarrassment rising on his face. His heart brimmed with shock. For if Shang Jingshu hadn't confronted it head-on, he would never have realized how unwittingly he had given so many precious gifts to Shang Diyi, all while disregarding Shang Jingshu's heartfelt intentions and the joy she took in giving them. Meng Qiuyu thought to herself. In her ears echoed Shang Yun and Jing Man's disappointed words once more.
Even if I beg you, you insist on favoring your sister's daughter, I won't interfere with you, but don't harm my uncle.
Sure. Is your condition improving?
Has the medicine helped after a few days?
What illness do you have?
Someone hired assassins to kill me, and I just shed a bit of blood. That is all. These past few days, he has been by Shang Daiyi's side, unaware that his own daughter had endured an assassination attempt. The guilt and unease in his heart grew ever stronger. Mother, no need to worry. It is just that I've been bleeding for 4 or 5 nights. I was unconscious for half a day, but it is nothing. I've studied medicine and know how to nourish myself back to health. In 3 to 5 months, I'll be fully recovered. Mother, you're not one to be swayed easily by Sheng Di's act of feigned fragility and pitifulness. Then isn't my pitiful state feeling both aggrieved and in pain, yet still holding strong, even more heart-wrenching? Meng Qiuyu's eyes reddened. The guilt in her heart reached its zenith.
Sure.
I know why you've come today, Mother. You simply want me to take into account the sisterly bond I've shared with Shang Di since childhood, and bring her to the spring banquet. In truth, Mother, you could decide this on your own, yet you've come to ask me. What I mean is, you still care about my feeling. As long as you don't blame me for my past foolishness over a man, even bringing Shang Di to the spring banquet, letting others look down on me, thinking that I'm being trampled underfoot by my own cousin as she climbs over me. It is of no consequence. Hearing this, Meng Qiuyu felt another sharp pang. Yes, she is only concerned about Dai carrying a child with no title, lest she be looked down upon. I want to take Dai to the spring banquet to secure her status with the second prince. But how could he possibly forget? Anything between Shang Dai and the second prince is a humiliation to Shu'er.
Shu'er's mother need not trouble herself.
Since Shang Di has schemed so tirelessly to leave our Yong'anhou mansion as soon as possible, I shan't begrudge her the send-off. Shang Di, when you shed your skirts to seduce a man, you felt no shame, no grievance. Only afterward do you parade your shame and grievances on your tongue, making you seem nothing but hypocritical and vile. Yet, I must ask one thing. Xuan Zai, he adores it so much. He scorns to swell your belly. Why then? Doesn't he escort you to the spring banquet himself?
Brother Shi, as for him,
I realized you're his eternal paragon of benevolence and morality, a stain he keeps hidden beneath the bed curtains. If he were to escort you himself, it would invite nothing but scorn. Very well then, after all. Our Yong'anhou mansion hails from humble valley roots. We're long accustomed to disdain. One more stain like you won't matter. I consent to taking you to the spring banquet. Shang Dai felt this consent was like a scorching slap across her face. But as I've said in this lifetime, we can never be sisters again. So at the spring banquet, you'll go solely in your own right. Not as the second miss of our Yong'anhou mansion, nor as my mother's second daughter. Of course, if you insist on being my mother's second daughter, we'll hold the right of recognition and amend the family records after the spring banquet. Any actions you take at the spring banquet will be your own to bear. If you truly have the cunning to become the second prince's consort, your riches and glory won't be hindered by our Yong'anhou mansion. But should you encounter any troubles, or if anything goes wrong, don't expect my mother and me to help you. Don't even think of dragging anyone from my Yong'anhou mansion into this. Have you heard me clearly?
I heard you clearly.
Damn, that wretched girl. And I want to sever ties with her beforehand. Luckily, Brother Yi has already written to inform him, securing his position in advance. Once the spring banquet passes, will he still covet the Yong'an Marquis mansion or these lowly wenches? Words alone hold no weight, please. Cousin, write it by hand. To make it binding, Chushi, prepare pen, ink, and paper at once, and places them before Shang Dai. Treating me with such suspicion is nothing but deliberate humiliation. Shang Di fumes with rage, casting her gaze upon Meng Qiuyu, hoping Meng Qiuyu will intervene. But Meng Qiuyu seems lost in thought, paying her no mind at all. Gritting her teeth, she reaches for the brush. That will do. Shang Jingshu inspects the handwritten note meticulously. Then, cousin and mother, please head to the mansion gate first. I'll change and join you shortly.
Sister, you look stunning today.
Cousin, if Cousin Dai errs again, I won't hesitate to leave you behind.
It is to thank you once more for agreeing to take me to the spring banquet. If my wishes come true today, I shall repay you handsomely.
Why does Dai seem to harbor such hatred for Shu'er? It was she who wronged Shu'er first. How could she still resent Shu'er? I must have misheard. Dai couldn't possibly be that wicked.
Ah, all right. The hour grows late.
Sure, Dai, let's board the carriage.
Thank you for your trouble, Aunt.
With that, she turns to board the Marquis Mansion's carriage. Meng Qiuyu stands frozen, staring at the hand extended before her, wondering why Shang Dai treats her like a mere servant, savoring the thrill of being fawned over as she boards the carriage. Mother, since my cousin prefers the front carriage, then will mother and daughter take the one in the back? After all, cousin is on the verge of becoming the second prince's consort, so we'll graciously step aside for her. She can count it as deference to the imperial house. Shang Dai so desperate to puff up her status. She must have schemed from the start to hog the official carriage with mother, leaving us to trail ignominiously behind. No doubt. Pity Shang Dai doesn't realize those false heights only make the eventual crash that much more devastating. At least, Shang Jingshu shows a shred of self-awareness. Still, even if she gets an audience with him once, he won't spare that wretched girl. Just wait till after today soon enough. They'll be on their knees, begging her mercy.
Uncle Jane, come out quick. I've brought you something fun.
Shang Jingshu froze for a moment upon hearing this voice. In his past life, besides Zhou Shi, who else treated him with such kindness? Only Song Feiyan, the cavalry general Song Polu of the Great River Dynasty, the only one bold enough to bang the table in heated argument with Yan Beizhang. And apart from Yan Beizhen and his elite guards, the most formidable and talented general in battle, with a pure and untainted heart, a steadfast, loyal patriot, an ironclad honest fool devoted solely to king and country. Both the emperor and Yan Beizhang tolerated his explosive temper. His daughter Song Feiyan trained in martial arts under his guidance, and inherited his fiery disposition. After he was confined to the regent's mansion by Yan Beizhang in his past life, Song Feiyan, relying on her innate superhuman strength, broke into the regent's mansion several times to visit him, attempting to rescue him and help him escape, and even offered to teach him martial arts, so he could fight back against Yan Beizhang. The reason Song Feiyan was so kind to her was simply because in his youth he had once saved Song Feiyan's life. Yet this very act of life-saving grace lay precisely within the fragment of memory he had lost, leaving him with no recollection of Song Feiyan. Under Zhou Shuibi's slight instigation, he came to view Song Feiyan as utterly crude and unworthy, not only shunning any closeness with Song Feiyan, but also lashing out at her with harsh words on multiple occasions. And even later, fully aware that Song Feiyan suffered from a grave illness, though she could have cured it, he offered no aid to Song Feiyan, leading ultimately to Song Feiyan's tragic death at the peak of her vibrant youth, the most regrettable age of all, as if it were this very autumn.
Hey, what are you dawdling for? I guarantee you'll like this thing. Come on, hurry. Is Miss Song looking for my lady sister? She is in the carriage behind us.
A smug glint was clearly visible in his eyes. Feiyan and Shang Jingshu helped Meng Qiuyu down from the carriage and approached.
Jingshu, what is all this about? Your family's official carriage isn't for the rightful master. It has been taken over by some outsider. And here, I thought I was the unruly one. But this cursed lone girl your family raised isn't just unruly. She disregards rank and status, and shows no respect for age or seniority.
Cursed lone girl. What is that all about? Isn't Shang Dai the second daughter of the Yong'an Marquis mentioned?
Oh, so she really is a cursed lone girl, huh? I wouldn't know, but those rumors swirling through the streets these past few days, I've heard them so often. I'm sick of it. This Sheng Jieyi, she is thoroughly poached Shang Jingshu's man.
Just like Lady Qiaohao said, the emperor's uncle's own son.
Sheng Di sure knows how to work her charms. No wonder she is hooked, the second prince's heart.